This is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network. We broadcast from our studios at 6 Bradley Avenue, Kingston 10, Jamaica. Transmitting on the FM 90 band. 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne. Serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary, and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester, transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew, and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Coopers Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James, serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland, and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on the World Wide Web on nationwideradiojm.com and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock.
From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
A very good morning to you. I'm Tawna Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Wednesday, May 28, 2025. Mark Golding's approval rating as opposition leader hits a 3-year high. That's according to the latest nationwide Blue Dot polls powered by Total Tools. UWI lecturer says Andrew Holness's poll ratings are low by global standards and reflect vulnerability. In regional news, police fatal killings jumped by 52% in Trinidad and Tobago. In international news, a French doctor to be sentenced for sexually assaulting hundreds of children. In sports, Windies A come up short against their South African counterparts in third one-dayer. And in business, Temu's profit falls 50% as Trump's tariffs bite hard. The details after the break.
Experience the joy of buying a brand new Hyundai without breaking the bank. Yes, buying a brand new car should never leave you broke. From stylish designs and safety features to comfortable driving and reliability, Hyundai is the choice. Hyundai vehicles come standard with 2 years free service and 5 years warranty and roadside assistance for your peace of mind. Drive 2 years without service cost and 5 years without fear of being stranded. Hyundai. Conditions apply.
Catch the first news of the day. A comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details.
The Nationwide Blue Dot polls, powered by Total Tools. Total Tools, they almost always have it.
The job approval rating of opposition leader Mark Golding has hit its highest level in 3 years. That's according to the latest nationwide Blue Dot polls powered by Total Tools. 27% of Jamaicans say the opposition leader has done a good job since assuming the office, but most Jamaicans still say he's done an average job. George Davis reports.
When the Blue Dot pollsters asked 1,618 Jamaicans whether the man popularly called Marky G was doing a good, average or poor job as opposition leader, 27% said good, 41% said average, and 32% said poor. Despite the fact that most Jamaicans believe he's been doing an average job, the positive rating is the highest he's seen in these polls since at least 2022. Golding's average job rating has also improved from 29% in 2022 to 41% in May 2025. That's a 12-point improvement. But perhaps most positive for the opposition leader is the fact that his negative job rating has plunged from a high of 51% in 2022 to 32% in these polls. That's a 19-point decline in negative sentiment towards the job Golding is doing. there is more good news for Marky G. His job approval has also improved across both genders in the last 3 months, moving from 20% among women in February to 25% in May. That's a 5-point improvement. Men have also marginally improved their job approval rating for Mark Golding, moving from 27% in February to 29% in May. That movement with men is within the poll's margin of error of 2.3%. The average job approval with both genders has also held firm in the last 3 months at just above 40%. The pollsters say the data indicates Golding is incrementally broadening his appeal with voters. When age is considered, Golding is gaining momentum with the older demographics. His positive job approval has moved 5 points with voters over 65 in the last 3 months, moving from 33 to 38%. Over the same period, his negative job approval with that demographic has dipped by 6 points. 31% of voters over 65 rate Mark Golding's job performance as average. The opposition leader records his lowest job approval with voters 18 to 24 years. Conversely, his highest negative job rating was from voters 55 to 64. With consistent improvements in job approval in the average and the good categories and declines in negative sentiment, the question is, could voters be readying themselves to go with Golding? George Davis for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, it appears Mark Golding is consolidating his support with the PNP's base. Since taking the reins of leadership of the party in 2020, Golding has been on a unity mission. According to the Blue Dot polling data, it appears to be working. 65% of comrades say Golding has done a good job. That's a marginal improvement since February. At the same time, the number of comrades who say Golding has been poor at his job has fallen by 3 points over the last 3 months. The positive job rating from unaffiliated voters has held relatively steady at 13%. His negative job rating from unaffiliated voters has plunged marginally, moving down from 38% to 34%. 53% of unaffiliated voters rate Golding as average. But the Labourites are decidedly sour on Golding. 54% of them say he's been a poor opposition leader. That's a slight increase since February. Only 7% of JLP supporters believe Golding has done a good job.
The nationwide Blue Dot polls, powered by Total Tools. Total Tools, they almost always have it.
Now, Assistant Lecturer of Public Policy at the Mona campus of the University of the West Indies, Damon Gordon, says Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness's favorability rating reflects his political vulnerability. The nationwide Blue Dot polls, powered by Total Tools, revealed that 43% of Jamaicans now believe Dr. Holness has been doing a good job as Prime Minister. This is the Prime Minister's highest mark in more than 2 years. But speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday, Gordon says the Prime Minister's ratings are low by global standards.
Based on global standards, favorability rating lower than 40% is considered to be low. A favorability rating between 40 and 49% is considered to be low to moderate. 50% to 60 is generally considered to be high, and over 60 is considered to be very high. So when you have a favorability ratings of, as an incumbent that is between 40 to 49%, it doesn't mean that all is lost, but it is considered to be a sign of vulnerability. So based on the international measures, the Prime Minister is still within what is considered to be the danger zone or the red zone.
Voters in St. Elizabeth and Hanover have given the Prime Minister his highest job approval rating, 48%, across the 14 parishes. Still, Gordon says Holness's rating is even more concerning when viewed through a regional lens.
In the Caribbean in particular, based on analysis of previous elections and how incumbents fare in previous elections, what is considered to be a high favorability rating in the context of the Caribbean is a favorability rating of 55% and over. So that is one way of looking at the data So while the Jamaica Labour Party, the Prime Minister, can take comfort in the fact that he has gained some momentum, he's still not out of the danger zone in terms of what we consider to be a safe favourability rating for an incumbent leader.
Damian Gordon, Assistant Lecturer of Public Policy at the University of the West Indies, Mona campus. Meanwhile, Associate Professor of Political Science and Public Policy at Elon University, Dr. Damian Blake, believes Dr. Holness's favourability rating has been boosted by the achievements of his administration.
Based on the poll findings, it seems that what the electorate is saying is that they have a sense that Holness and his administration has been delivering key political goods. Of course, everywhere you look, you're seeing these things happening. And of course, the big elephant in the room, or a one-time elephant in the room, right? And the once political Achilles heel, no longer security. The government has made some serious inroads into security with the reductions in homicide.
51% of Jamaicans told the Blue Dot pollsters that they believe the Holness-led JLP is the best party to solve the problems of crime, unemployment and cost of living. That's a sharp increase in the last 3 months, when only 37% of voters held that view. Dr. Blake says the higher numbers reflect the public's trust in the Prime Minister to continue his delivery of political goodies.
Holness, in my view, has been delivering the political goods. The polls have been picking that up. People have a sense of hope, it seems, that he will continue to hone in on these very important areas around economic stability, around infrastructural development. You talk about what's happening in the Morant Bay Urban Centre, for example. So what the polls indicate to me is a sense of that reassessment among some of the electorate. There you can see some reassessment happening, where his numbers have fallen, his poll ratings from 57 to now 50. To me, that indicates reassessment. Okay, who is this guy? And should I take a closer look at him? And in other ways, it is also indicating that people are actually quite happy with what is happening.
And Dr. Damian Blake, Associate Professor of Political Science and Public Policy at Elon University. Dr. Blake was also speaking on Nationwide at 5. Defense attorney Christopher Townsend ramped up pressure on the prosecution's 6th witness on Tuesday, painting the former neighbor of Constable Noel Maitland as inconsistent, forgetful, and potentially unreliable. Maitland is on trial for the 2022 murder of his girlfriend, 24-year-old Donnelly Donaldson. Robin Williams reports.
Christopher Townsend posed a series of pointed questions in his bid to discredit Noel Maitland's former neighbor. As he continued cross-examining the witness, Townsend asked, "You would agree with me that there are details that you can't recall that happened on the 12th, 13th, and 14th of July 2022? The witness agreed, noting that it's been over 2 years ago. The witness had testified that Maitland and a technician were in his apartment on July 14, 2022, for over 45 minutes to review surveillance footage. But under cross-examination, he repeatedly said he could not remember the specific words exchanged, including whether Maitland had told the technician he was trying to locate his sister. Townsend seized on the witness's vague responses. He asked, "Did you recall the technician asking Maitland the time frame of the video footage?" The witness responded, "Can't say from memory." The witness said Maitland had earlier asked him to review the footage so nothing, like walking by with a spliff, would jeopardize a pending promotion. But when Townsend questioned who introduced that example, the witness backtracked. The former neighbor admitted it could have been me who said it. He had previously attributed the comment to Maitland. Townsend pressed, "But both cannot be true." To which the witness countered, "Both could be true, we could have both said it." Townsend suggested that the witness was having difficulty remembering because it was never said, but the witness insisted and disagreed with the suggestion. The defense attorney also challenged the witness's evidence that Maitland had asked him to erase footage from his camera system. The witness maintained that Maitland did pressure him, asking him at least 3 times to delete the footage, a request he said he refused. Meanwhile, Townsend attempted to reference Maitland's child's mother, Katiana Smith. but Justice Leighton Pusey intervened, halting that line of questioning on grounds of hearsay. The witness denied ever having any phone conversations with Maitland's child's mother. He also denied erasing or causing any surveillance footage to be deleted. The trial will resume on Wednesday morning at 10. Robian Williams for Nationwide News.
Chairman of the Jamaica Police Federation, Sergeant Arlene McBean, is praising the JCF for the significant reduction in murders and other major crimes across the country since the start of the year. Murders are down by 42% so far this year when compared to 2024. She noted the achievement at the Federation's 82nd Annual Joint Central Conference in Hanover on Tuesday.
While there is still much more to be done and to be improved in the JCF, we are to operate continuously at the highest level of efficiency and effectiveness this year. We can say that we have made some meaningful strides and cover much ground, and we must not overlook that. Recent media headlines, we note the work and the efforts of the policemen and women, evident in the fall in crime statistics in areas including murders and unprecedented reduction. So God be the glory.
Data from the JCF show that up to May 24, 269 homicides had been committed in the country. That's 199 fewer than the 468 murders recorded in the corresponding period last year. Sergeant McBean told rank-and-file members of the force that despite the gains made in curbing crime and violence, there's still work to be done.
With this crime reduction that we boast about, that we celebrate, that we have never seen in murder and major crimes, are we there yet? Have we reflected what we need to do, how we need to do it? Things we need to ignore, because some of the times, colleagues, we jump on everything and respond to everything when we can utilize our time to transform systems and ideas, suggestion, just to make that a great opportunity for yourself and others. So this stats that we boast about, we must celebrate the achievements. However, we cannot afford to be complacent, colleagues, since our goal is to reduce the number of murders.
Sergeant Arlene McBean, chairman of the Police Federation. Meanwhile, Sergeant McBean has warned police personnel who engage in criminal activities that the Federation will not be your safe haven.
I want to openly declare to you, colleagues, who are ambassadors in representation, members who engage in any form of illegal or criminal activities, please. The Police Federation, we will not be your safe haven for escape. Please remember that. Some persons believe that, yes, I have the Federation all the time and I can be a repeated offender. I'm just asking you, let your professional standards be seen, heard, and felt. Please deliver that message. And I'm speaking on behalf of the Police Federation.
Sergeant Arlene McBean, chairman of the Jamaica Police Federation. She was speaking at the Federation's 82nd Annual Joint Central Conference on Tuesday. A police detective was arrested last Saturday after being found in a stolen vehicle in Portmore, St. Catherine. And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
Learn how local gov is working for you. Subscribe to our YouTube channel MLGCDJA-TV and visit our website www.localgovjamaica.gov.jm. The time by the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development is
6:18.
When you see opportunity, make sure you take it. So when I got a piece of land to grow things, I jumped at it. With my Jane Bank small business loan, I grew the opportunity. I've reaped a whole new life for my family. Now my goods supply plenty market across the parish. Jane Bank helps you grow your business with the Jane Bank Small Business Loan that is perfect for you. Borrow from $10,000 up to $1.5 million to help cover expenses. Visit janebank.com to get started today. Jane Bank, we'll help you find a way.
In regional and international news this morning, regional news in Trinidad and Tobago, Guardian Media is reporting that there have been 27 fatal police shooting incidents since the start of the year, resulting in the deaths of 35 people. The fatality number is 12 more, or just over 52% higher than the figure recorded over the corresponding period in 2024. President of the Police Social and Welfare Association, Gideon Dixon, says while the police are trained to protect and serve, they are equally trained in the use of deadly force and must be supported when they act within legal boundaries. Dixon says that the association was concerned about the frequency of police-involved shootings, noting that this trend is a symptom of wider societal breakdowns, including the proliferation of high-powered weapons. Dixon says that the threats facing the police are escalating. He says that the modern crime scene no longer has knives or cutlasses, but is instead littered with spent shells from high-caliber guns. Dixon says given the increase in the number of heavily armed criminals operating in TNT, more shootouts with police are a logical outcome. International, a former French surgeon is expected to be sentenced to 20 years in prison on Wednesday for the sexual abuse of hundreds of patients, mostly aged under 15, as the biggest child abuse trial in French history ends. The Guardian newspaper says 74-year-old Joël Lescornic worked as a digestive surgeon in public and private hospitals across Brittany and the west of France, often operating on children with appendicitis. During the harrowing 3-month trial in Brittany, he was accused of 111 rapes and 189 sexual assaults between 1989 and 2014 at a dozen hospitals. Many of the children he assaulted were under anesthetic or waking up after operations. Some were assaulted in their hospital beds. The average age of the children or the child victims was 11. Lescornic eventually admitted all the assaults in court. His lawyer told the court, quote, "My client is utterly guilty," end quote. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
Looking for something nice for Drake. What is that?
Trangback Premium.
Trangback Premium, now available. Trangback and I'm a packer.
What makes a burrito bond so attractive?
We have a history of strong financial performance and growth, demonstrating resilience.
Our leverage remains low relative to our peers.
The bond is available in both Jamaican and US dollars, ranging from tenures between 2 to 10 years at attractive interest rates. Plus, it's expected to be listed, which will enhance liquidity for all investors.
Burrito bonds are burrito strong. Download our prospectus, call a burrito advisor, and invest today.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Time now for your morning sports. South Africa A beat West Indies A by 6 wickets at the Darren Sammy Stadium in St. Lucia in the final game of their 3-match one-day series on Tuesday night. The victory gave the South Africans a 2-0 series win after one of the matches ended in a no result. Windies A batted first and made 253 for 9 in their 50 overs. Shakir Paris fell 4 runs short of a century. His blistering 96 was spiced with 10 fours and 2 sixes. South Africa responded with 258 for 6 in 35 overs. Rivaldo Munsami led the way with 94 and Marquise Ackerman 71. Jamaica's Ajay Shields took 2 for 44. The Reggae Boys will know who their opponents in Saturday's final of the Unity Cup will be when Ghana and Nigeria meet on Wednesday afternoon at 1:45 in London. The boys booked their place in the final following a 3-2 win over Trinidad and Tobago on Tuesday. Coach Steve McLaren says his team will be ready for Saturday.
I'm going to watch the game, so after the game I'll tell you it's who we have to. It's different totally, isn't it? So I've not seen a lot of either team, apart from they've got good players and good squads. So we'll just enjoy this, recover, and hopefully the fans will come again on Saturday.
Steve McLaren. Chairman of Professional Football Jamaica Limited, PFJL, Christopher Williams, gave the planning and execution of the 2024-25 Ray and Nephew Jamaica Premier League final a passing grade after Cavalier lifted the trophy for the second straight season.
I slept well. I felt good that the team is coming together. The gate was way tighter. We had very little leakage. We had our reports. We had our cash reconciliation right after we moved out the cash. We have our scan report. I'll be getting the P&L very shortly. So we're improving. The halftime show was tighter. Last year we ran over and the game was delayed. So we're getting better. We're getting better from an execution standpoint. So, yeah.
Williams says there's one main area where improvements are necessary.
The main thing is our schedule. I thought that our schedule, we should have stuck to the schedule, which is 5 Sundays as opposed to Thursday, Monday, Thursday, Sunday, Friday. The schedule that we had last year, which was
Christopher Williams. Finally, in your morning sports, the Indiana Pacers are now 1 win away from the NBA Finals after dispatching the New York Knicks 130-121 in a game of their Eastern Conference final on Tuesday night. Indiana got big performances from Tyrese Halliburton, 32 points, and 12 rebounds, and Pascal Siakam 30 points to go 3-1 up in the best-of-7 series. For New York, Jalen Brunson got 31 points. The series heads back to New York for Game 5 on Thursday, where Indiana can close out the contest. And that's it for your morning sports.
The loan frenzy is on with Infinity Co-op Credit Unions. Fund your possibilities loan promotion with 0 to low processing fees, up to 240 months to repay, and competitive interest rates. You can borrow using a secured or unsecured loan to fund your dreams. Dream it, fund it, live it with Infinity, where possibilities are endless. Visit infinitycuja.com or call 876-926-6973 for more details. Conditions apply.
In business this morning, PDD Holdings, the Chinese owner of online shopping platform Temu, has reported a near 50% drop in profits as Donald Trump's trade policies added to its struggles in its home country. U.S. listed shares of the e-commerce giant fell by more than 13% on Tuesday after the firm said its profits for the first 3 months of the year fell to $2 billion. Earlier this month, the Trump administration ended the so-called de minimis exemption that allowed parcels worth less than $800 to enter the U.S. without being hit with import duties. In China, PDD has been locked in a long-running price war with rivals like Alibaba and JD.com in the face of weak consumer spending. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has signed an online child safety bill that requires Apple and Google to ensure that their app stores verify the age of users in the nation's second most populous state. Under the new law, minors will need parental approval before they can download apps or make in-app purchases. The bill was opposed by Google and Apple. An Apple spokesperson says they believe there are better proposals that help keep children safe without requiring millions of people to turn over their personal information. Texas follows Utah, another conservative state, which adopted a similar law earlier this year. And in foreign exchange trading this morning, the Jamaican dollar has gained 40 cents and will open trading today, selling for an average $159.83 against the benchmark U.S. dollar. The Jamaican dollar has gained 64 cents and will open trading this morning, selling for an average $116.18 against the Canadian. And finally, the Jamaican has lost $2.44 and will open trading, selling for an average $218.88 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
Clear your barrels and personal shipments with ease and convenience. Request customs contactless clearance today through CCP at jca.gov.jm. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
6:30.
Switch to your JUTC Smart Fare Card by May 31, 2025. The temperature brought to you by JUTC Smart Fare Card. Transforming your daily commute with smarter, easier, and more reliable travel is
27 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, also 27 out west in Montego Bay, and 22 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Don't fall victim to deepfakes.
Watch out.
Protect yourself.
Oh, what is that
For
on
more
the TV?
information, visit broadcastingcommission.org or
Here,
scan
baby.
the QR code on screen.
Deepfake. No deepfake can't catch me.
Junior, you know say AI can make something will look and sound just like you? One day Junior get a voice note from her granny. Say the food done, the medication done, and she need money urgently.
Need money urgently? But Miss Pat no like ask people for things.
And as so comes, Judy get suspicious.
So what she do?
She asks the neighbor to go check pan her. Junior, the lady quite alright over there make her Sunday dinner.
So the voice note a deepfake?
Yes, my love. Come, your food ready.
Right now it look like we have to outsmart the AI. But wait. I really want dege dumpling you give me.
Me I wonder if AI can make one deep fake dumpling for you.
To learn more about deepfakes, visit www.broadcastingcommission.org.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining presents National Minerals Week from May 25 to 30, 2025 under the theme Minerals for National Development. Activities include a church service, bauxite land titling conference, technical conference on limestone, investor forum, and a bauxite industry session. Notably, the technical conference and investor forum will be held on May 28 and 29 respectively at the Jamaica Conference Center. For more details, visit www.moa.gov.jm or follow at MOAFJM on IG.
Digicel! Bogo, sim, bogo, sim. Get yours today and double the value. Visit your nearest Digicel store and grab your Bogo. Get your Bogo SIM now and get a second SIM free. Enjoy free calling for 3 months between the 2 SIM cards. Plus, a 3-day plan with 300 minutes plus 15 gigabyte any use data on both SIM cards. Visit a Digicel store today. Double the value and share it with friends and family. Bogo. Digicel. Better connected. Giving your heart and soul to vanity, yeah, makes your life filled with pain and misery. While life goes on, everyone's got to stand strong. You can't surrender, no, 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 oh no.
It is Wednesday, May 28, 2025. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. You're tuned in to Nationwide this morning. NTM. Hello to you, Robert McKenzie, in the chat. Always out giving trouble. Good morning to all our YouTubers, our peeps out there in Radio Land. Good morning to our peeps joining us on the app and on the website as well, if you're listening live from that platform. Good morning to you as well. Hello to you as well, Dennis Barnaby. All of you in the chat joining us as usual, keeping our company. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. I'm Tawna Thomas.
Morning, Tawna.
Good morning.
Yeah, man. Morning, listeners. Morning, viewers. Morning, everybody. Albert Morgan, always a morning. George Davis by name. Every morning. Latoya always ball out, George. So, yeah, well, enough people say George, you know. Jacqueline Thomas, morning.
There you go.
See you with the coffee, yeah? So, good morning to all of you. All is well?
Yeah, all is well. All is well.
Mm-hmm. Yesterday, there was a video I shared in the news group, which, boy, it hard to watch. For the YouTubers who are paying attention to their devices, you'll be able to see, and I'm assuming that many of you wouldn't have seen. The scene is Tavern Drive in Eastern St. Andrew. And this camera, God bless it, I call it the bird's eye view camera. It's either on a building high up or atop a building. And it captures an alley, a little lane. You know how these communities are close. And what you will see, well, you heard some chatter, then you see a man running in a vest and a hard hat, dressed like he's a construction worker, confronted by another man who chased him, bumps him with his chest. The man has, well, I'll tell you what he has in his hand shortly. So one man is the aggressor. Yeah? The man dips to his waistband and at very close range squeezes. The man in the hard hat and the vest falls. Helmet tumbles off his head. And immediately, the man who does what appears to be the shooting says, "Oh, you have to draw a knife upon me." Yeah? And he's saying that loudly. I won't say why he's saying it, but I have an idea why. But he says loudly, "Yeah, draw a knife upon me." We subsequently came to realize, I don't have my phone, that the deceased, can you pull up the report I attached to it as well?
Sure.
It's in it's in the newscast.
Right.
Yes, so I'll be able to tell them. Right, so the gentleman who was shot is 57-year-old
Norris Farquharson.
Norris Farquharson, yes, 57-year-old Norris Farquharson. And the suspect is in police custody. We understand the suspect is a licensed firearm holder. Jeremy, run the video one more time now, please. Because one man, the victim, the deceased, appeared to be fleeing. So he appeared to be fleeing, and then he appears to be chased down by the man who shot him, who picked up something off the ground. I'll tell you what he picked up shortly. Bumped him with the chest, squares up to him, and looking at the victim, hands by his side at this point, and then he's shot. Quick draw, bam bam. Shot squeezed off, man falls, and then he says, "Oh, you have to draw a knife upon me. Boy, draw a knife upon me." So, you know, in masonry, you have this piece of board that you have a stick beneath and you have a flat piece on top for you to put the mortar on when you're rendering the wall. So you dip the trowel in the mortar and you flash it on the wall. You do that flat piece. So that appears to what he took up first as a weapon. And then he went to the waistband and it was over very, very quickly. Now, as I watched it yesterday, I watched it over 40 times yesterday. And I said to myself, so we use license firearm. This is what we do with our licensed firearms. The matter, of course, is now a police matter, so I am constrained as to what I'll say. I would have said much more if that suspect was still at large, but the fact that it is before the investigators, I'll restrict myself. But I just want to ask our licensed firearm holders, what do you imagine your responsibility to be when you have that instrument of death on your person? Is it to embolden you to goad people who you know are unarmed into a dangerous situation? Is it to intimidate people who you are aggressive towards, knowing that they can never rise to match your level of aggression because they know that you have that tool on your person? Is it your understanding of your responsibility that your firearm is to protect you, your property, those closest to you, or even those around you in certain situations? And yes, what I have loved about the fact that so many more people these days have licensed firearms than before is because I'm always calculating the odds. And when criminals walk into spaces, assuming that I by myself can pull out my one gun and get everybody to comply with me because nobody is there in there is armed, they think twice these days because they're not sure. Because so many people have the tool. So that's good. And what's also good is that oftentimes we hear of people being at the wrong end of a firearm, an illegal one. And it's a licensed firearm holder who comes to their rescue in the moment. I love that. And the fact that so many people have it allows those two scenarios to play out rather often here in Jamaica. And again, I believe a criminal must think hard about whether he wants to break and enter your house, attack you in your car, come to your bar where you're drinking and attack you, see you out in the streets and attack you because he must have said, wait, I wonder if him having a gun, I wonder if she have her gun. And because so many people have it now, that's a serious consideration for them. Sometimes they guess and them lucky, sometimes them guess and them guess wrong. I like that. But when you see incidents like this one, and even an incident like the nurse matter, which again I'll take my time with because that's again a matter before the investigators. I have many opinions on it, but it won't be useful while this thing is going on. The responsible use of a firearm. I believe many people who have firearms use it, abuse it, knowing full well that the person with whom they have a confrontation does not have the tools at their disposal to pose a similar threat to the licensed firearm holder that the licensed firearm holder is posing to them. And I think that's a problem. And I've been told very, very reliably that one of the problems that people in the Towner's word again, space have with this new Firearms Act, Towner, is that before the law was modified, there was a requirement in law for you to tell the authorities, give them a compelling reason why you needed a firearm. I've been told that that very important declaration has been removed from this new firearms law, to the extent now that for you to become eligible to receive a firearm, all you have to do is to prove that you don't have a criminal record. Once your police record clean, you're eligible for a firearm. That's not how it was before. Before, you had to say, why is it that you needed a potentially deadly tool in your custody at all times? And I say, issues are not black and white, you know. And some of you believe that, boy, you know how it is that you must be questioning people who have licensed firearms. You know, so you're the criminal, them on the back foot now, and how much criminal they here and ting. I've already given you 2 scenarios in which I'm very happy that there are so many people with licensed firearms. But a gun is no ordinary tool, as we all know. Not an ordinary tool at all. And you can't make a mistake with a gun as you could do with many other things. You can't make a mistake with. You can't make a mistake with a gun because it's somebody's life. It's your life. And as I saw that video, I'm saying to myself, is it right for someone to have a dispute with you? Doesn't matter what happened in the portion of the video we did not see. It does not matter what happened in the portion of the video we did not see. Because what we saw was someone going away. And we saw a licensed firearm holder chase him down, bump him with him chest, square up to him, being ultra aggressive. Perhaps because him know him have the tool and the man not have nothing. And in those circumstances, what can happen is the image we just saw moments ago. So I'm saying, why is it that some of us believe that when we get the gun from FLA, we suddenly have the powers of a constable? We use the gun like we're a member of the security forces now. Yeah? You talk to a man 2 times, him not comply with what you say. Even if he's not a threat to you, you just shoot him because you can. And that leads into this point about give everybody who want a gun a gun. You can imagine much man will get shot on the road at the time. In a traffic. A man hear me here now talk. Yeah? I go buy a cup of coffee somewhere and see me and him shoot me. He might say, Lord George, that's exaggeration. It's not. We are Jamaicans. At our best, we're better than everybody else on this planet. At our worst, we're worse than everybody else. It's a fact. And I'm saying this morning that the possession of a gun must come with ultra responsibility. Yes, defend yourself. Defend your property at all times. And if you're a woman with a gun, you're a man with a gun, you should carry yourself in such a manner that somebody knows that they can't run in on you just like that. That's fine. I don't no problem with that. But when you have the tool, you have to take time with situations. You have to breathe and count to 10, count to 20. Because a decision you make can be fatal. It can be fatal for your victim, and it can spell the end of life as you know it. I'm not pronouncing on what will happen when this investigation is done with that matter. But you could well imagine how it look. I mean, going to court is a totally different matter. And the skill of lawyers and all of that. Yeah? But can you imagine? So let me ask a question now. The man who pulled the trigger, and the police have published his name. On this day in sports, this morning at 6:48 a.m., how him feel this morning? You think he feels as if he made the right decision yesterday morning after 7 when that video was captured on Tavern Drive in Eastern St. Andrew? Know that everything cooled down. And Professor Nuts sang a song many years ago talking about if me did know. Man say if me did know, me wouldn't chop him so hot. Today, right now, in this moment, as he sits in custody somewhere, does he believe that he used his licensed firearm in the best way on Tuesday morning? I have a strong feeling I'm going to say, rotted. If me did know, me just make him go on. And then, last part now, the declaration about him draw a knife. Well, we have some brilliant attorneys in this country now. Yes, man, world class. I suggest you're going to need a few on that point about him draw a knife on me. But man, watching that video, seeing the individual shot down like a dog, 57 years old, and you live till 57 and I saw you go out. And the man who pulled the trigger is a big man, he's not a boy. Looks to be a contributor to society, somebody who society benefits from, society don't owe. And this is how you choose to settle a dispute with a legal gun. What a condition.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:50.
JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union offers financial solutions for every stage in your life: savings, auto loans, mortgages, and more. The Temperature by JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union, your financial partner for life, is
27 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 22 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Yo, genius! Me just get the Burger King Double King combo. One original chicken sandwich plus a Whopper Junior with cheese. Well, a 2 sandwiches enough. Plus a small fries and soda for only $1,300.
You use the new rubber money. You did say the money can stretch a Burger King.
Me mean you get more food for your money. One combo, 2 sandwiches.
So you want I got eat whole a 2 sandwich, brother? My belly can stretch, you know.
Get the BK Double King combo. Limited time only at Burger King.
Experience the joy of buying a brand new Hyundai without breaking the bank. Yes, buying a brand new car should never leave you broke. From stylish designs and safety features to comfortable driving and reliability, Hyundai is the choice. Hyundai vehicles come standard with 2 years free service and 5 years warranty and roadside assistance for your peace of mind. Drive 2 years without service cost and 5 years without fear of being stranded. Hyundai. Conditions apply.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Time now for Street Smarts 1 with Ludlow McLean. Good morning, Ludlow.
Morning, George. Well said. Morning to our listeners. Morning time.
Hey to you, Ludlow.
And, everyone there in the studios, all our passengers, all being transported all over the place, land, air, sea. Our visitors, morning time. Just a quick update though. It is not too bad, especially if you're in the Kingston 5 area, Crossroads Retirement Road. If you're going through New Kingston, the movement is pretty good so far. If you're heading out of Kingston, maybe you're going out towards the east, it's pretty good movement along Camp Road, South Camp Road, and all of these areas. So it's not too bad as you make your way, but you can expect build-ups later on as the morning progresses. So for support for the morning, it's back to you in the studios.
Thank you, Ludlow. Ludlow there with Street Smarts 1. Up next, the word of the day.
Your word of the day is spelled N-I-C-T-A-T-E, spelled N-I-C-T-A-T-E.
Nictate. Nictate. Nictate.
Nictate is your word of the day. Nictate, it's a verb and it simply means to wink. Nictate is your word of the day. To use nictate in a sentence, in order to win a staring contest, you must resist the urge to nictate, to wink, to blink. Nictate is your word of the day, and dictionary.com is telling us that the word was first recorded between 1755 and 1765. Nictate, N-I-C-T-A-T-E, meaning to wink or blink. Up next are features at the top of the hour of the news.
If you're a pet fish owner, paying close attention to your tank is of paramount importance. Fish might be quiet companions, but they have a lot to say if you know how to look and listen carefully. On Pets World today, we have tips for those not so observant fish owners. It starts with observation. Watch your fish. Are they swimming normally? Are they eating well? Are their colors bright? Their fins intact? These are small signs, but they're often the first clues that something's off. Early detection is key. A fish that looks or acts sick might be carrying a disease that could quickly spread through your whole tank. And one of the most common ways disease gets introduced: new fish. When a fish is brought into a new environment, the stress alone can weaken its immune system. That's why many seasoned aquarists use a quarantine tank, which is a separate, smaller tank where new arrivals can spend time before joining your main aquarium. Think of it as a fish's orientation period, 3 to 4 weeks to make sure they're healthy, eating and adjusting well. During this time, you can monitor them for any signs of illness and keep your established fish safe. But quarantine tanks aren't just for newcomers. They're also your first line of defense when an illness strikes. Spot a fish that's acting strange or looking unwell? Moving it to the quarantine tank gives you space to treat it properly and keep the rest of your aquatic crew out of harm's way. Of course, prevention goes beyond the quarantining. Neglecting regular tank care is one of the fastest ways to run into trouble. Forgetting to feed your fish, skipping water changes, or letting filters go too long without cleaning. These things all add up, and the consequences can be deadly. Successful fish owners tend to follow a routine, whether it's checking water quality once a week or doing partial water changes every couple of days. Consistency keeps your tank healthy. If staying on top of the details isn't your thing, don't worry, technology's got your back. Automatic feeders, timers, and smart monitors can help keep things running smoothly. Some water sensors even connect wirelessly to your phone or computer, giving you real-time updates on temperature, pH, and more. So, whether you're caring for a single goldfish or managing a full tank, remember, success in fish keeping isn't about perfection, it's about attention, patience, and learning as you go. Keep an eye on your fish, stay curious, and enjoy the calm of your underwater world. That's it for Pets World. Until next time.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
I remember telling someone how good they looked one day and got a very strange response. I believe it was, "You're just being nice." I guess some people just don't know how to take a compliment. Let's look at how we can accept compliments in a gracious manner without letting them go to our heads. I'm Tana, and it's time for your lifestyle pages. Consider it a gift. When someone compliments you on anything, your looks, what you're wearing, something you've done, or something you've made, say something polite like thank you and move on.
Don't argue. Avoid the urge to counter whatever the person said. Arguing creates a scene that is much more awkward than the compliment. Reciprocate. When someone tells you something they like about you, compliment him or her back in a way that relates to what they said. For example, if they say, "You look very nice today," you can reply, "I appreciate such a compliment from someone who is always so well put together." Tell how the compliment made your day. You would be surprised what a far way it can go. Accepting a compliment does not mean you're conceited, so it's okay to smile with a good old-fashioned thank you. I'm Tana. Catch you next time for Lifestyle Pages.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Jamaica, let's make road safety a priority. Slow down, stay focused. Remember, every life matters. The time brought to you by the JIS is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
If you need to build it, plumb it, weld it, pave it, or power it, National Supply has it. Get the best brands for the job at Jamaica's Industrial Hardware Superstore, Kingston or Mobay. The temperature by National Supply is
27 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 22 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news at 7 this morning, today, Wednesday, May 28, 2025, Mark Golding's approval rating as opposition leader hits 3-year high. That's according to the latest nationwide Blue Dot polls powered by Total Tools. UWI lecturer says Andrew Holness's poll ratings are low by global standards and reflect vulnerability. In regional news, in international news, French doctor to be sentenced for sexually assaulting hundreds of children.
News at 7 is brought to you by Hyundai. Modern, premium, affordable vehicles.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details.
The Nationwide Blue Dot polls, powered by Total Tools. Total Tools, they almost always have it.
The job approval rating of opposition leader Mark Golding has hit its highest level in 3 years. That's according to the latest nationwide Blue Dot polls powered by Total Tools. 27% of Jamaicans say the opposition leader has done a good job since assuming the office, but most Jamaicans still say he's done an average job. When the Blue Dot pollsters asked 1,618 Jamaicans whether the man popularly called Marky G was doing a good, average or poor job as opposition leader, 27% said good, 41% said average, and 32% said poor. Despite the fact that most Jamaicans believe he's been doing an average job, the positive rating is the highest he's seen in these polls since at least 2022. Golding's average job rating has also improved from 29% in 2022 to 41% in May 2025. That's a 12-point improvement. But perhaps most positive for the opposition leader is the fact that his negative job rating has plunged from a high of 51% in 2022 to 32% in these polls. That's a 19-point decline in negative sentiment towards the job Golding is doing. There is more good news for Marky G. His job approval has also improved across both genders in the last 3 months, moving from 20% among women in February to 25% in May. That's a 5-point improvement. Men have also marginally improved their job approval rating for Mark Golding, moving from 27% in February to 29% in May. That movement with men is within the poll's margin of error of 2.3%. The average job approval with both genders has also held firm in the last 3 months at just above 40%. The pollsters say the data indicates Golding is incrementally broadening his appeal with voters. When age is considered, Golding is gaining momentum with the older demographics. His positive job approval has moved 5 points with voters over 65 in the last 3 months, moving from 33 to to 38%. Over the same period, his negative job approval with that demographic has dipped by 6 points. 31% of voters over 65 rate Mark Golding's job performance as average. The opposition leader records his lowest job approval with voters 18 to 24 years. Conversely, his highest negative job rating was from voters 55 to 64. With consistent improvements in job approval in the average and the good categories and declines in negative sentiment, the question is, could voters be readying themselves to go with Golding? George Davis for Nationwide News. Meanwhile, it appears Mark Golding is consolidating his support with the PNP's base. Since taking the reins of the leadership of the party in 2020, Golding has been on a unity mission. According to the Blue Dot polling data, it appears to be working. 65% of comrades say Golding has done a good job. That's a marginal improvement since February. At the same time, the number of comrades who say Golding has been poor at his job has fallen by 3 points over the last 3 months. The positive job rating from unaffiliated voters has held relatively steady at 13%. His negative job rating from unaffiliated voters has plunged marginally, moving down from 38% to 34%. 53% of unaffiliated voters rate Golding as average, but the Labourites are decidedly sour on Golding. 54% of them say he's been a poor opposition leader. That's a slight increase since February. Only 7% of JLP supporters believe Golding has done a good job.
The Nationwide Blue Dot polls, powered by Total Tools. Total Tools, they almost always have it.
Assistant Lecturer of Public Policy at the Mona campus of the University of the West Indies, Damian Gordon, says Prime Minister Andrew Holness's favourability rating reflects his political vulnerability. The Nationwide Blue Dot polls, powered by Total Tools, revealed that 43% of Jamaicans now believe Dr. Holness has been doing a good job as Prime Minister. This is the Prime Minister's highest mark in more than 2 years. But speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday, Gordon says the Prime Minister's ratings are low by global standards.
Based on global standards, favorability rating lower than 40% is considered to be low. A favorability rating between 40 and 49% is considered to be low to moderate. 50% to 60 is generally considered to be high, and over 60 is considered to be very high. So when you have a favorability ratings of, as an incumbent that is between 40 to 49%, it doesn't mean that all is lost, but it is considered to be a sign of vulnerability. So based on the international measures, the Prime Minister is still within what is considered to be the danger zone or the red zone.
Voters in St. Elizabeth and Hanover have given the Prime Minister his highest job approval rating, 48%, across the 14 parishes. Still, Gordon says Holness's rating is even more concerning when viewed through a regional lens.
In the Caribbean in particular, based on analysis of previous elections and how incumbents fared in previous elections, what is considered to be a high favorability rating in the context of the Caribbean is a favorability rating of 55% and over. So that is one way of looking at the data. So while the Jamaica Labour Party and the Prime Minister can take comfort in the fact that he has gained some momentum, he's still not out of the danger zone in terms of what we consider to be a safe favorability rating for an incumbent leader.
Damian Gordon, Assistant Lecturer of Public Policy at the Mona campus of the University of the West Indies. Meanwhile, Associate Professor of Political Science and Public Policy at Elon University, Dr. Damian Blake, believes Dr. Holness's favourability rating has been boosted by the achievements of his administration.
Based on the poll findings, it seems that what the electorate is saying is that they have a sense that Holness and his administration has been delivering key political goods. Of course, everywhere you look, you're seeing these things happening. And of course, the big elephant in the room, or one-time elephant in the room, right? And the once political Achilles heel, no longer security. The government has made some serious inroads into security with the reductions in homicide.
51% of Jamaicans told the Blue Dot pollsters that they believe the Holness-led JLP is the best party to solve the problems of crime, unemployment and cost of living. That's a sharp increase in the last 3 months when only 37% of voters held that view. Dr. Blake says the higher numbers reflect the public's trust in the Prime Minister to continue his delivery of political goodies.
Wholeness, in my view, has been delivering the political goods. The polls have been picking that up. People have a sense of hope, it seems, that he will continue to hone in on these very important areas around economic stability, around infrastructural development. You talk about what's happening in the Morant Bay Urban Center, for example. So what the polls indicate to me is a sense of that reassessment among some of the electorate. There you can see some reassessment happening, where his numbers have fallen, his poll ratings from 57 to now 50. To me, that indicates reassessment. Okay, who is this guy? And should I take a closer look at him? And in other ways, it is also indicating that people are actually quite happy with what is happening.
Dr. Damian Blake, Associate Professor of Political Science and Public Policy at Elon University in North Carolina. He was also speaking on Nationwide at 5. Defense attorney Christopher Townsend ramped up pressure on the prosecution's sixth witness on Tuesday, painting the former neighbor of Constable Noel Maitland as inconsistent, forgetful, and potentially unreliable. Maitland is on trial for the 2022 murder of his girlfriend, 24-year-old Donnelly Donaldson. Robian Williams reports.
Christopher Townsend posed a series of pointed questions in his bid to discredit Noel Maitland's former neighbor. As he continued cross-examining the witness, Townsend asked, "You would agree with me that there are details that you can't recall that happened on the 12th, 13th, and 14th of July 2022? The witness agreed, noting that it's been over 2 years ago. The witness had testified that Maitland and a technician were in his apartment on July 14, 2022, for over 45 minutes to review surveillance footage. But under cross-examination, he repeatedly said he could not remember the specific words exchanged, including whether Maitland had told the technician he was trying to locate his sister. Townsend seized on the witness's vague responses. He asked, "Did you recall the technician asking Maitland the time frame of the video footage?" The witness responded, "Can't say from memory." The witness said Maitland had earlier asked him to review the footage so nothing, like walking by with a spliff, would jeopardize a pending promotion. But when Townsend questioned who introduced that example, the witness backtracked. The former neighbor admitted it could have been me who said it. He had previously attributed the comment to Maitland. Townsend pressed, "But both cannot be true." To which the witness countered, "Both could be true, we could have both said it." Townsend suggested that the witness was having difficulty remembering because it was never said, but the witness insisted and disagreed with the suggestion. The defense attorney also challenged the witness's evidence that Maitland had asked him to erase footage from his camera system. The witness maintained that Maitland did pressure him, asking him at least 3 times to delete the footage, a request he said he refused. Meanwhile, Townsend attempted to reference Maitland's child's mother, Katiana Smith, but Justice Leighton Pusey intervened, halting that line of questioning on grounds of hearsay. The witness denied ever having any phone conversations with Maitland's child's mother. He also denied erasing or causing any surveillance footage to be deleted. The trial will resume on Wednesday morning at 10. Robian Williams for Nationwide News.
Chairman of the Jamaica Police Federation, Sergeant Arlene McBean, is praising the JCF for the significant reduction in murders and other major crimes across the country since the start of the year. Murders are down by 42% so far this year when compared to 2024. She noted the achievement at the Federation's 82nd Annual Joint Central Conference in Hanover on Tuesday.
While there is still much more to be done and to be improved in the JCF, we are to operate continuously at the highest level of efficiency and effectiveness this year. We can say that we have made some meaningful strides and cover much ground, and we must not overlook that. Recent media headlines, we note the work and the efforts of the policemen and women, evident in the fall in crime statistics in areas including murders and unprecedented reduction. So God be the glory.
Data from the JCF show that up to May 24, 269 homicides had been committed in the country. That's 199 fewer than the 468 recorded in the corresponding period in 2024. Sergeant McBean told rank-and-file members of the force that despite the gains made in curbing crime and violence, there's still work to be done.
With this crime reduction that we boast about, that we celebrate, that we have never seen in murder and major crimes, are we there yet? Have we reflected what we need to do, how we need to do it? Things we need to ignore? Because some of the times, colleagues, we jump on everything and respond to everything when we can utilize our time to transform systems and ideas, suggestion, just to make that a great opportunity for yourself and others. So this stats that we boast about, we must celebrate the achievements. However, we cannot afford to be complacent, colleagues, since our goal is to reduce the number of murders.
Meanwhile, Sergeant McBean has warned police personnel who engage in criminal activities that the Federation will not be their safe haven.
I want to openly declare to you, colleagues, who are ambassadors in representation, members who engage in any form of illegal or criminal activities, please. The Police Federation, we will not be your safe haven for escape. Please remember that. Some persons believe that, yes, I have the Federation all the time and I can be a repeated offender. I'm just asking you, let your professional standards be seen, heard, and felt. Please deliver that message, and I'm speaking on behalf of the Police Federation.
Sergeant Arlene McBean, chairman of the Jamaica Police Federation, she was speaking at the Federation's 82nd Annual Joint Conference in Hanover on Tuesday. A police detective was arrested last Saturday after being found in possession of a stolen vehicle in Portmore, St. Catherine. International news now. A former French surgeon is expected to be sentenced to 20 years in prison on Wednesday for the sexual abuse of hundreds of patients, mostly aged under 15 years, as the biggest child abuse trial in French history ends. The Guardian newspaper says 74-year-old Joël Lescornic worked as a digestive surgeon in public and private hospitals across Brittany and the west of France, often operating on children with appendicitis. During the harrowing 3-month trial in Brittany, he was accused of 111 rapes and 189 sexual assaults between 1989 and 2014 at a dozen hospitals. Many of the children he assaulted were under anesthetic or waking up after operations. Some were assaulted in their hospital beds. The average age of the child victims was 11. Lescornic eventually admitted all the assaults in court. His lawyer told the court, quote, "My client is utterly guilty." End quote. That's the news.
News at 7 was brought to you by Hyundai. Modern, premium, affordable vehicles.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
7:17.
Rent or buy your hurricane supplies from Total Tools. Visit 102 Main Street, Oterius, 34 Slipe Road, Kingston 5, or Lot C6, Drax Hall, St. Anne's Bay. The temperature brought to you by Total Tools Jamaica is
27 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 24 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Plug into the sun with Peak Energy Solutions. We are your affordable provider for everything solar. Grid tie or off-grid solar P systems, solar air conditioners, panels, lithium batteries, solar supplies, and installation. Visit us at Shop 1, 3 Mosquito Valley Road, Red Hills, St. Andrew. Call 876-279-8820 or 944-0668. Or email us at peakenergysolutionsja@gmail.com. Peak Energy for everything solar.
3 decades, one epic sale. For 30 years, Active Home Center has been transforming homes across Jamaica. Now it's time to celebrate with you. Join us for our 30th anniversary sale, Monday, May 26th to Saturday, May 31st in Kingston and Montego Bay. Enjoy up to 30% off selected items, including tiles, bathrooms, furniture, lighting, and appliances. You don't want to miss your chance to save big. Active Home Center, more savings, more choices.
Time over Street Smarts 2 brand with Ludlow McLean. One was so short. Yeah, that means there's still one we are going to know. Street Smarts 2. Go ahead, Ludlow.
George, I certainly, that was a senior moment.
No, I was reading something while I was talking to you, so that's why.
Anyway, it's to our listeners, morning time again, and all passengers traveling, whether leaving Jamaica or just arriving, it's very bright and sunny morning. And I tell you, the roadways are busy. Remember I mentioned the Kingston 5-year-old building. Well, it has increased. But those of you who are heading out towards the east, you're making your way along Mountain View Avenue or Michael Manley Boulevard. You're heading towards Harborview. It's really smooth sailing. You won't have much of a problem. And if you're heading out to the Norman Manley Highway, it's pretty smooth sailing. No delays. No, the roadways are clear, except if you're heading westbound, that's where you're going to have some difficulties on the road. It's really bumpy, especially in the vicinity of the cement company. The road is really bumpy on that side. And if you're not careful, what could happen. But the other area that has a little buildup of traffic is in the vicinity of that roundabout by Harborview. I see a number of police officers there trying to supervise the vehicular flow, and it's supposed to make things better. So if you're one of those drivers who drives and like to be on the outside, we call it out and bad, be careful, because you might be prosecuted or will be prosecuted. So be careful as you traverse that area. But along Windward Road, again, both directions, it's really good. Smooth sailing again. No great buildup of traffic, especially if you're making it towards in the vicinity of Rockport and also Springfield. Springfield is after the intersection of Mountain View Avenue, going out on the left-hand side. Then you go towards Beaumont, the Beaumont area, Chicani area, those areas, it's really smooth sailing. So that's about what's happening. But remember, at this time, it really peaks. Traffic peaks, and most times the intersections are busy, so we just ask you to be careful and be patient. And there's a thing that keeps happening. The intersections, remember motorists, you are not supposed to block the intersections, all right? Do not block the intersections. It really impedes the vehicular flow, all right? So once you know you're not able to cross, please keep that area free so you allow the vehicles on the other side to move freely. All right, it's our second report, and as usual, at Street Smart, your safety is our concern. It's over to you, George.
Thank you, Ludlow there with Street Smarts 2. Up next, Front Page.
Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. You're now tuned into our discussion segment, The Front Page. On the front page this morning, focusing on our nationwide Blue Dot poll question, talking about the perception of Mark Golding as opposition leader.
The Nationwide Blue Dot polls, powered by Total Tools. Total Tools, they almost always have it.
Now, the job approval rating of the opposition leader Mark Golding has hit its highest level in 3 years. That's according to the latest nationwide Blue Dot polls powered by Total Tools. 27% of Jamaicans say the opposition leader has done a good job since assuming the office, but most Jamaicans still say he's done an average job. George Davis reports.
When the Blue Dot pollsters asked 1,618 Jamaicans whether the man popularly called Marky G was doing a good, average or poor job as opposition leader, 27% said good, 41% said average, and 32% said poor. Despite the fact that most Jamaicans believe he's been doing an average job, the positive rating is the highest he's seen in these polls since at least 2022. Golding's average job rating has also improved from 29% in 2022 to 41% in May 2025. That's a 12-point improvement. But perhaps most positive for the opposition leader is the fact that his negative job rating has plunged from a high of 51% in 2022 to 32% in these polls. That's a 19-point decline in negative sentiment towards the job Golding is doing. There is more good news for Marky G. His job approval has also improved across both genders in the last 3 months, moving from 20% among women in February to 25% in May. That's a 5-point improvement. Men have also marginally improved their job approval rating for Mark Golding, moving from 27% in February to 29% in May. That movement with men is within the poll's margin of error of 2.3%. The average job approval with both genders has also held firm in the last 3 months at just above 40%. The pollsters say the data indicates Golding is incrementally broadening his appeal with voters. When age is considered, Golding is gaining momentum with the older demographics. His positive job approval has moved 5 points with voters over 65 in the last 3 months, moving from 33 to 38%. Over the same period, his negative job approval with that demographic has dipped by 6 points. 31% of voters over 65 rate Mark Golding's job performance as average. The opposition leader records his lowest job approval with voters 18 to 24 years. Conversely, his highest negative job rating was from voters 55 to 64. With consistent improvements in job approval in the average and the good categories and declines in negative sentiment, the question is, could voters be readying themselves to go with Golding? George Davis for Nationwide News.
For some perspectives now, we're being joined by political commentator Dr. Nadine Spence and political commentator Jermaine Barrett. Dr. Spence, Jermaine, good morning to both of you.
Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to your listeners and viewers.
Good morning, everyone. So we played the rap. You heard the numbers. Dr. Spence, let's begin with you. What do you make of those numbers?
Where people are, well, firstly, that people are gearing up for elections and that I think those people who were perhaps on the sidelines and observing are making up their minds, right? So that's one. The other thing is that clearly we're seeing a solidifying of the vote, of the support from the PNP base towards Mark Golding, because I think that is where the positive movement that we see happening is coming from those PNP voters who perhaps were not on board as much as before. As you talked about this thing about unifying the party, that perhaps that is working, and more of those who were skeptical about his leadership of the PNP are coming on board. And we saw that this year. We saw that that he did some very deliberate things to get more PNP people who were skeptical and outside of the fray back in the team and supporting. And we we would have seen that with Danisha, whose father was on the Gleaner front page on Sunday, saying the PNP was going to win with 38 seats. People like him coming back in the fold, and then the others that he would have brought with him. So clearly, the PNP slowly is amassing some kind of support around the leader. I don't know if it is enough, and if it will be in time, depending on when the election is called. But certainly, as the polls indicate, he's in a much better position.
In a much better position, Dr. Spence is saying. Jermaine, how do you see the good at 27% now, average 41%, and the poor rating at 32% in these polls?
So in a politically competitive environment such as that which exists right now, these numbers provide a bit of hope for the opposition leader, but it's not good enough. When you look at the favorability of the Prime Minister, his numbers are much more favorable. And so, what it does indicate is that what the leader of the opposition has been doing has been good enough to sort of galvanize this level of support around him, more cement his popularity within the PNP base. But I contend that what he needs to do now more than, to really push him over the edge in the zero-sum winner-takes-all contest that he's going up against the Prime Minister for the general elections, is really to now step up the gear and really communicate to the people of Jamaica, not just what is bad with the JLP, but more in a more concentrated way, what a PNP administration would do were they to gain state power. And so I think that's the next gear that he needs now to move into in order to probably position himself to be even more competitive relative to the Prime Minister.
Jermaine, you say now move into that gear. I asked the question, 2020 to now, he's been at the the helm of the PNP for some time, been opposition leader for some time. This 41%, which is the bigger figure in terms of the poor, the average, and the good, the 41% being the bigger figure. After 4 years, should the opposition leader be in this position where people are still assessing his performance?
No, I don't think he should be that. It should be that the average number of most Jamaicans rather view him as just performing on an average level. I think by now he should, after 4 years, most of the sentiments within the public should be in favor of him gaining a far more positive perception amongst people at large. And so it is concerning. And I think what this indicates is that there is not much more that can be had from the current approach of the People's National Party. Again, they just need to do something different, something more, something to excite the voters. And of course, importantly as well, the youth vote is dismal for both the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party. And what it does indicate is that neither party are communicating a message that is resonating within that with that audience. Middle-aged Jamaicans and older Jamaicans are what are contributing more significantly to these positive trends. But again, the trends are not positive enough for Mark Golding relative to his competitor, Andrew Holness, and the JLP.
Speaking with Jermaine Barrett and Dr. Nadine Spence on the approval rating for the opposition leader, Mark Golding, in these latest polls from Blue Dot. Going to take a break and come back with more on NTM.
Give up every illegal gun. Call the police at 119 or Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
7:32.
Fix up with Fleetwood products for your home improvement, personal care, and aromatherapy needs. They have your well-being in mind. Available at retailers island-wide. The temperature by Fleetwood Jamaica is
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 28 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 24 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Taxi drivers, ready to start earning more money?
Join Amber on Time, Jamaica's taxi app built just for you. 0 commission in the first month, no catch. Plus get a free vehicle tracker to protect you and your ride. Stolen vehicle recovery and panic alarm response included. Download the Amber Captain app today and start driving. Or roll through to our office at 30 Westminster Road, Kingston and sign up on the spot. So whether you're at Kingston, Mobay, Ochi or anywhere else, work there. Come take advantage.
3 decades, one epic sale. For 30 years, Active Home Center has been transforming homes across Jamaica. Now it's time to celebrate with you. Join us for our 30th anniversary sale, Monday, May 26th to Saturday, May 31st in Kingston and Montego Bay. Enjoy up to 30% off selected items, including tiles, bathrooms, furniture, lighting, and appliances. You don't want to miss your chance to save big. Active Home Center, more savings, more choices.
Do you have a passion for road safety? Love working with children? Want to make a real impact in your rural community? The Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, is expanding its services and we're hiring drivers for a brand new rural school bus service launching this September. If you're 25 or older, have a valid open general driver's license, at least 3 years experience and a clean record, we want you on our team. Enjoy steady pay, meaningful work and the chance to help students get to school safely across 13 parishes. Apply by May 30, 2025. Visit jutc.com.jm for more information. Drive the future. Drive with JUTC.
Look at me now.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning, having a conversation about the approval ratings for Mark Goulding in the latest Nationwide Blue Dot polls powered by Total Tools. Have on the line Dr. Nadine Spence as well as Jermaine Barrett. Dr. Spence, wanted to ask you, what's the hurdle, do you think, holding back Mark Goulding at this time from advancing his ratings?
I think a lot of it has to do with the messaging, as Jermaine says. I find that whenever I engage when the PNP is having a meeting or when you look at the stage, I think they're not doing very good at setting the right, at building the right look, and the messaging is also not clear. I think this message of just attacking the government isn't working. People are not inspired by that message. And I think people have been saying it. All of us have been saying it, what's your message? Even their slogan, time come. People have been saying time come for what exactly? And you're hearing that momentum building around. What exactly are you talking about? And you also get the feeling that the team that has been put together is not an experienced team. So I've heard people ask the question, now, who in that team is going to be Minister of this and Minister of that? So I don't think people are convinced about the team that he's putting together. And because of that, I think people are a little bit hesitant about his leadership and what he can accomplish given, this tendency for members of the team to go off script and say some of the most out of context things sometimes. And when these things happen in a team, the leader has to take responsibility. And sometimes I think people think he doesn't have control of his team. And there's a way about Mark Goulding as well and the way he speaks. I don't know if I'm the only one, but it doesn't ring authentic to me. Yes, he's trying to connect to the masses because he's coming, he has a deficit. He doesn't look like the rest of us. And so he's trying to show Jamaicans that he's a part of it, but it has also led to some inconsistency in his own personal brand and how he carries that message. And I think, there is a whole lot of unknown about him. We don't quite know him, even though he's done so much, I think, to get people to say this is who he is and he connects to the Jamaican people and he's a part of Jamaican. His grandparents were born here, da-da-da-da. I think people still don't know him. He still remains a kind of a mystery. People are not sure what to think about him. People haven't made up their minds about him.
Jermaine, do you think that is an issue? The opposition leader still at this point trying to connect with members of the electorate, the population at large, as the opposition leader and PNP president? Oh, we lost Jermaine. All right, continue your point, Dr. Spence. I will try to get back Jermaine on the line.
Oh, yeah. So So I think that he has a lot to overcome. I think that Marky G moniker, he got too far into it. I don't know if he can reel himself back from that and represent himself as a more sober, trusted personality who, yes, we know all Jamaicans code switch, but you can't switch code and then that becomes your personality. I think people are wondering, who is the real Mark Golding? Because we know Mark Golding as the Minister of Justice, but it's Mark Golding who is on the stage and is campaigning across Jamaica. We're not quite sure what to make of him.
And isn't that the problem? And isn't that the problem, Dr. Spence? I'm happy you went there because Mark Golding made his name. Well, I would venture to say that the Mark Golding as Justice Minister and the Senator first, Senator Mark Golding, was respected by a broad cross-section of Jamaica and regarded as one of our sharpest legislators and a very nice man. But in 4 years, he has had to transform from that individual into a man who is required to move a crowd at a political meeting, who's expected to deliver punchline after punchline at a certain part of his campaign speeches, who's expected to be roots, to be able to connect across demographics as all our political leaders would have done. 4 years ago, he was never in a position where he had to do any of that. So the 4 years since that time, aren't we judging him perhaps a bit too harshly and perhaps missing the fact that his transformation has gone well, given how late he has had to metamorphose into this figure?
But he grew up in Jamaica. We've had another prime minister who was his color who never had to make. It wasn't that difficult.
Yeah, but his forging was different, though, Dr. Spence, and that's well known.
His what?
His forging was different. He wasn't forged from the same fires as Eddie Seaga and the immersion into the culture and all of that. He didn't do that.
Right.
Yes.
But that's what you're making my point, George. If he's not as immersed in the culture, then there's a way in which he doesn't ring true when he says some of the things he does. He thinks somebody has told him, or a group of people have told him, perhaps, that this is the way you do it because the lack of ability to connect with the public is pretty obvious. Yeah, you don't have the same kind of background. So it's not just about color. It's not just about how he's lived. It's that he has lived in a particular space in relation to how Jamaicans identify. And so he's trying to make up for that. And it's obvious that he's trying to make up for that.
And you're saying he's gone too far over?
The thing about it is it's not authentic. We know it's not true. Those people who are watching know he's not true. Mm-hmm. It's not true. So people are hesitant because people, when in leadership, people like authenticity.
Yes.
People would like for him to admit that there's something he doesn't understand. And we are not just roots, rock, reggae, or dancehall culture. That part of Jamaica that he connects to. There are other parts of Jamaica that identify differently that I don't know that he knows,
Mm-hmm.
So it just doesn't ring true. There's a lack of authenticity in his leadership that I think people, even though they might want to like him, they're not sure wish him.
Yeah. Jermaine, how much of this is true that because the elections are nigh, the comrades, rather than to be contemplating whether Mark or somebody else, they've come to the acceptance that Mark is going to be the man to lead them into the election. And so perhaps this hardening of support for him in the comrade base is not because they think he is the man, but simply because, well, he's the one who's going to lead us into the party, into the election, so might as well we support him. Jermaine?
Yes, George?
Yes. Yeah, man, here you know. Go ahead.
Yes. I'm saying it's a bit of both. I think it has now dawned that the PNP faction that it is inevitable they are stuck with him, certainly until the next general election. And secondly, he has done a lot of work and he's to be credited for unifying the party, and we're seeing the manifestations of that now. But I think I want to just quickly respond to your prior question to Dr. Spence, that irrespective of whether or not, he had come from a particular segment of the Jamaican population, the sort of upper class Jamaica, which does not as readily represent the broadest cross-section of who Jamaica is. And that is the case. And his entry into politics was through the Senate, and then he got a sort of a cushioning, as Minister of Justice and so forth. Those kinds of realities are true. But the fact is he is caught up in a vicious competitive arena, and the contest is requiring more. It's requiring more authenticity. It's requiring a greater level of genuineness, and that is unfortunately absent for him.
But do you give him credit, Jermaine? I want to hear you say it clearly.
Yeah,
do you give him credit for what he has done for the
do
transformation from brilliant legislator to man who's expected to work miracles when he's on giving stump speeches on the campaign?
I give him credit, George, absolutely. But hey, my assessment of him and the extent to which we say, he has transformed and has done a lot to unify the party and bring the base back is immaterial, because at the end of the day, Jamaicans are saying, well, he just doesn't meet the mark. We have to compare what he's providing and presenting to the Jamaican electorate now and what the Andrew Holness JLP is presenting. Yes, and it isn't. Let us be frank. Let us be clear.
Yes,
the Jamaica Labour Party is unprecedented in the excellence that they've provided to this country in terms of economic management, in terms of infrastructural development, in terms of all the major, poverty reduction, job creation. All of these things are all unprecedented. That is the standard that must transcend.
Yes.
The only way he transcends that is to convince Jamaicans that, listen, on education still remains imperfect. I can do better. On roads, on water, on jobs, on the economy overall, all of these metrics, I have a plan that is superior to that which has been offered by the Jamaica Labour Party, which is promised by the Jamaica Labour Party, and therefore you must convince me. You must demonstrate a conviction in my approach relative to theirs.
Hear this now, Dr. Spence. So let us look at the parish and where Mark Golding stands on the question of, on the point of rating his performance after almost 4 years as opposition leader, parish by parish, Dr. Spence. He's down 5% in Clarendon. Well, 13% in Clarendon, in fact, meaning the number of people in Clarendon who think he is doing poorly versus those who think he's doing good. 13% more people think he's doing poorly than doing good in Clarendon. 14% more people think he's doing poorly than doing good in Hanover. 3% more think he's doing poorly in Kingston and St. Andrew than doing good. 12% more in Manchester think he's doing poorly than doing good. In Portland, 8% more think he's doing better than doing good than doing poor. 8%, he's up 8% in Portland. In St. Anne, 6% think he's doing poorly as opposed to those who think he's doing good. In St. Catherine, he's up 6 points. So Portland and St. Catherine are the two parishes in which Golding is up in terms of the good or poor performance as opposition leader. He's down 6% in St. Anne. He is down 19% in St. Elizabeth. He's down 4% in St. James. He's down 3% in St. Mary. He's down a whopping 20% in St. Thomas. Just 17% of people in St. Thomas think he's doing a good job as opposition leader, as opposed to 37% who saying he's doing a poor job. In Trelawney, he's down 4%. And in Westmoreland, again, it's big. It's the double digit. 19% think he's doing good, but 38% think he's doing poorly. 19 percentage points more. So it bears out what you've been saying, Dr. Spence, that around the country, there is an issue with how people are feeling and perceiving this opposition leader standing as a prime minister in waiting.
And remember now, George, that this is the opposition leader who's been campaigning for consistently for two to 3 years.
Yes.
Been out there, and we've seen him and we've heard the message. And it is only now that Andrew Holness has been going out there with his message and going to the people. And what we saw from the JLP in the last perhaps 2-3 weeks is that they're first meeting with and recognizing their workers, and they haven't yet taken their campaign on the streets. So what do you think is likely to happen with a JLP that is on the rise and a PNP that has been out there really going at it, trying to bring itself to the public. There's a way in which he has to recognize that the way he's presenting himself, and I don't know that he can change now, because that is going to speak to this. Who are you? You know, we know you as Minister of Justice as this thing. We know you now going around the country as, you know, personifying something else. Who are you going to become the next time? And so I think he's caught in a very uncomfortable reality. And I really do believe he went too far with the Marky G personality. And I don't know if, I know he was labeled Marky G, but I think he went too far with it. But I think the PNP has an issue that they have to resolve around how they message.
Yeah.
How they message. They're not messaging very well.
Yeah.
And they come across as the sourpuss party.
Yeah. Jermaine, in 6 of the 14 parishes, Golding's net positive rating is negative. He's down double digits in 6 parishes. 13 in Clarendon, 14 down in Hanover, 12 down in Manchester, 19 down in St. Elizabeth. Whoa. 20% down in St. Thomas and 19% down in Westmoreland. I'll say to you as well that he is close to the margin of error in terms of his deficit in only 2 parishes, Kingston and St. Andrew, where he's down 3%, St. Mary, where he's down 3%, extend that to St. James, where he's down 4%, and Trelawney, where he's down 4%, and he's only up positive rating in 2 parishes, Portland 8 points and St. Catherine 6 points. How do you think the comrades are reading this particular distribution of the poor versus good rating for Marky G?
Well, I think I really do hope that they're reading it for what it is, that there is not a point at which we celebrate right now, the comrades should be feeling, because this data does not reflect a degree of confidence with an election imminent, yes? And so clearly there needs to be a lot more work. A number of the parishes that you listed, George, are parishes where the administration has been doing a tremendous amount of work with in terms of SPAC, in terms of water projects, and so forth. And what you're seeing is a relative swing from the PNP towards the JLP or towards the undecided voters, because of the fact that you're getting a lot more performance from the administration, relatively speaking. And then again, I can't say it enough, this sort of lambasting and finger pointing at the administration that is doing tremendous work is not going to get you over the edge at the ballot box, quite frankly.
Hear you on that.
Yes.
Have to call time here, gentlemen. Gentleman and lady. Thank you very much, Dr. Spence. Thank you, Jermaine. All the best to you.
You're welcome, George.
Thanks, George. You're welcome.
Good.
Burnshack fried chicken, always ready. Burnshack, original crispy. Burnshack, Cajun spicy. Burnshack, a barbecue. Burnshack, we are going Burnshack.
The time brought to you by Burnshack Fried Chicken in Kingston, Montego Bay, and Ocho Rios is
7:51.
At Hawkeye, our mission is to deliver cutting-edge security solutions to help you keep track of the things you value most.
The temperature by Hawkeye is
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 28 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 24 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
The police are the gateway to our criminal justice system. As first responders to crime and disorder, they stand on the front line of justice.
Yes.
They uphold the law, they protect lives, and safeguard rights. By investing in our law enforcement professionals, leveraging cutting-edge technology, and maintaining a balanced approach between crime control and crime prevention, we have set a strong foundation for sustained crime reduction and public safety. The tide has shifted. Our police officers, with the support of the government, and the leadership of this Prime Minister, the Most Honourable Dr. Andrew Holness, remains resolute in efforts to secure Jamaica and Jamaicans. Their presence brings order. Their actions build trust. Yes. The police are not just law enforcers who move among us. They are the fundamental pillar of the nation state.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
Burger, sim, get yours today and double the value. BOGO. Visit your nearest Digicel store and grab your BOGO. Get your BOGO SIM now and get a second SIM free. Enjoy free calling for 3 months between the 2 SIM cards. Plus, a 3-day plan with 300 minutes plus 15 gigabyte any use data on both SIM cards. Visit a Digicel store today. Double the value and share it with friends and family. BOGO. BOGO. Digicel. Better connected.
Back with us, the Minister of Water with responsibility for water, Matthew Samuda, spoke in the sectoral debate on Tuesday. He says the government is investing in excess of $20 billion to advance the push towards universal access to water this fiscal year. He joins us this morning. Good morning, Minister.
Good morning, George. Good morning, Tana. Morning to your listeners.
Right.
Good morning.
For those who didn't catch your presentation on Tuesday, what would you tell them are the things that they needed to have heard from the presentation?
Well, firstly, I'd encourage them to listen. I believe we're on NNN this morning with our rebroadcast. But beyond that, what we shared was the 20 pillars of management that we intend to apply to Jamaica's sustainability journey. And beyond that, we spoke in great detail of the investment plan and programs to achieve Vision 2030, which means we will be bringing potable water and sanitation to all citizens by 2030. Now, we didn't hide from the challenges that we face, which I think is an important place for us to start. The World Bank would have assessed Jamaica's water sector as requiring approximately $5 billion for potable water, irrigation, and sanitation to be deployed by 2030. For us to achieve water resilience with the changing climate. We are on track, by my estimation, to be able to achieve approximately $2 billion in that regard. Now, what that means is that we're going to have to engage PPPs to close the gap to get close to the $5 billion US requirement for Jamaica's water sector to be modern and resilient and be able to deal with the changing climate. So the $22 billion is broken down through a number of projects, which I would have gone through at great length, including the first tranche of the Western Water Resilience Pipeline, which will see a new transmission main from Martha Brae to Terminal Reservoir in St. James, and a new transmission main from Lucy in Hanover to the edge of Negril. That's a major investment that will take place over the next 5 years. But we'll be putting in the first $5 billion to get the pipe work started this year. We expect to break ground shortly. We also highlighted our major projects right throughout the length and breadth of the country, including our CDB-funded rural water projects, which have been on the books for some 25 years in Jamaica, which will get underway this year. I also took some time to speak to the issues related to storage. As you know, citizens should be aware the Hermitage Dam was built in the 1920s and the Mona Reservoir was built in the 1940s. Both have served certainly the corporate area particularly well. But certainly last year we conducted an engineering assessment of the Hermitage Dam, and we do see where there is need for restoration, renovation, and expansion of that facility. So we're doing the engineering assessment now in terms of what that looks like. But we do intend to expand that facility, and we are doing engineering assessments in terms of the Mona Reservoir, in terms of how we will expand that particular facility. But I do want to focus, if you'll allow me, George, on the PPP approach that we'll be taking.
Yes.
Because as you do know, we would have, myself and the Prime Minister would have toured the construction site for the facility, the Rio Cobra water treatment plant that was built in Content, St. Catherine. We toured it last week. Now that is a $92 million PPP that will produce some 15 million gallons of water daily that will supply Spanish Town, Portmore, and southern St. Andrew. All areas that have their own water challenges. But this closes the need gap in that area and at least stabilizes current supply levels. Now that comes without debt to the Jamaican government. It comes without any financial burden to the state. Now, that's the sort of investment that we need to pursue to upgrade our water treatment plants and sewage treatment plants right across the length and breadth of the country. Now, a little before Minister Clark would have departed, we would have engaged the World Bank's IFC to assist us in packaging our PPPs in water and sanitation. Because, if we look at the Rio Cobra situation, that took 15 years to get done. That's not how we're going to, close the gap for 2030. So there is some expertise that we have engaged. We're not afraid to ask for help through the World Bank, and we will be looking at approximately 6 of our major water treatment plants for PPP investment that would allow for expansion, producing an additional 40 to 50 million gallons of water a day for citizens right across the country. That PPP approach will also be used to facilitate the expansion and improvement at the Soapberry plant. Now, KPMG was engaged. I believe we announced that last year. They've completed their work and they've presented the business case to the cabinet. We'll be proceeding this year to look for a partner through international tender who can expand and double the capacity there while also improving the quality from secondary to tertiary treatment of our sewage discharge in Kingston. So partnership is indeed the name of the game. So even though we're investing at an unprecedented rate, to close the gap in the time frame that we believe we need to, with the changing climate, partnership is going to be a critical component with the private sector, both local and foreign.
Yeah.
And on the matter, Minister, of the goal of universal access to water, how far down the road are we with that?
So there are two factors to consider. So first is approximately 90% of Jamaica is supplied by the National Water Commission, rural water systems run by municipalities, and in a few cases some private suppliers. I think there are even 2 or 3 UDC systems in areas that were built in the 60s and 70s. So 90% of Jamaica has access to potable piped water. Now, NWC used to supply approximately 75% of that number. We're up to about 79 now with the expansion of the network that we've been doing over the last 4 or 5 years, and we expect that to grow as we take over smaller municipal systems that require the economies of scale to upsize for the growing population in some townships. So that's where we are now. The 10% gap extracts from rivers, rainwater harvesting, etc. Now, to close that gap, one of the things we'll be doing are the CDB projects that I would have mentioned. And I mean, I can send you a full brief on these, so if you want to go into them in much more detail, we can. But this includes areas like Mason Hall in St. Mary and places like Union, Balaclava. This will invest some $5 billion Jamaican dollars into improvements in those communities, which are in some cases totally underserved. So places like Alexandria in, I think that's southwest St. Ann, has no piped water. It's all rainwater harvesting, trucking, and river extraction. That's an area targeted for, I believe, 800 million to 5 billion investment to expand the utility footprint and move us from 90% closer to that 100% goal. There are some communities, and very, very small and isolated communities, that we will have to look at other systems and tailor solutions to support them to get to that 100% goal.
Mm-hmm. And these communities are in the hills, they're on flatlands?
A mix, to be frank. I mean, we have to remember that 70% of our population lives within 5 kilometers of the sea, but a lot of Jamaica is very hilly interior, very hilly terrain, sorry. So it's a mix. There are communities in the industrial belt of the community of the country that are underserved that we're dealing with now because they were built in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and the pipes have simply degraded. So their lived experience with water is simply not where it needs to be. Communities even like Tivoli Gardens, and we'll be moving to address some of those issues this fiscal year as well. So it's a mixed issue. There's no one side, one fix for everything. But I think yesterday what I tried to outline was our approach to distribution, extraction, energy, storage, in a manner that Jamaicans would understand that, we are walking and chewing gum, as they say, at the same time, and addressing the major challenges that we have to not just extend the utility footprint, but to significantly improve the quality of service delivery. Because the next issue, Tana, would be, of that 90%, how many of those customers and citizens have reliable water? Because having access to water and having reliable water is two very different things. So we have to be simultaneously addressing both challenges.
And what did you tell the Parliament about the non-revenue water gains that the NWC would have made over time, Minister? Over the last, certainly between now and your previous sectoral debate presentation.
Well, certainly, the non-revenue water gains, in terms of improvement in reducing non-revenue water, has proceeded well. Our biggest gains have come in the Kingston and St. Andrew metropolitan area and Portmore. In Portmore, we've cut energy usage because we've reduced leakage by some 40%. In Kingston and St. Andrew, that energy usage, I believe, since last sectoral, even though it's down 50% over the last 10 years, but since the last sectoral, it's down about 5% as we continue to cut leaks. Now, we have gone to market through international tender for a NRW partner, which will be a PPP. That's how we approach the NRW systems in Kingston and Portmore for those pilots. And that will see a partner being appointed for a 10-year program to do island-wide NRW work. We expect to spend approximately $300 million on that initiative, bringing parishes like Hanover that are, 70% NRW into 30% range. So we'll be targeting 30% nationally and certainly in your urban centers, approximately 20%.
Is there a standard for the operation, for the repair and operation of pumps serving the various pumping stations across the island, Minister, to ensure that a pump goes down and it ought to be back up within a specific time? So is there a standard that has been implemented, and are there the tools and equipment and expertise to do the repairs and installations to ensure that a pump does not stay down for over 24, maybe even 36 hours at the extreme?
There are standards on the books, George, but there's no need for an audit to state that we're not meeting those standards. We've never had the financial capacity to be reinvesting and retooling at the rate that we need to do now. We are closing that gap significantly. You'd have noticed that we handed over some 30 service vehicles recently. That's one of the issues. Sometimes there's a very mobility of the NWC team to get around. We've also completed procurement of 40 new pumps that will replace some of our most unreliable pumps, because many of our pumps are from the former colonial government. They're the old British-style, very energy-intensive pumps that require triple-phase power. That as you go down for single-phase, you go down because of unreliable electricity in some isolated communities. So the truth is, George, there is a standard on paper, but we're nowhere near that, and we have to invest very heavily in the mobility, in the tools, and in keeping our staff engaged, and some cultural shifts as well will be required at the Water Commission. We're not there yet, George, and nobody could claim that we are. We have a long way to go where that's concerned.
Hear you on that. We're well over time, but we had to give you some extra time because we joined you late. Thank you for your time this morning.
In the same breath, if I could just close, I do still want to acknowledge the yeoman efforts of the senior, mid-management and junior staff at the Water Commission and Rural Water Supply Limited and JSIF, who have been deploying projects at a faster rate than we ever have seen, certainly in my lifetime. And beyond that, they've also cut the financial hemorrhage, and I want to thank them for their work.
All right. Thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you, Josh.
Water Minister Matthew Simona, the MP for Northeast St. Anne across Jamaica, up next. Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:06.
Success, powered by learning. The Temperature, brought to you by Sandals Corporate University. Come grow with us is
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 28 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 24 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's across Jamaica this morning.
In Across Jamaica this Wednesday morning, Agriculture Minister Floyd Green says ground will be broken in July for the $26 billion Peter Plains irrigation project in St. Elizabeth. The project fulfills what he says is a 50-year-old promise to significantly uplift the farmers in the Breadbasket parish.
This project has been spoken about since the 1970s. In fact, a man recounted to me a story that Michael Manley himself came into his farm and said if he voted for him, he would take water from the Black River and irrigate the plains of Picho. That was in the lead up to the 1972 election. Well, members, Michael Manley was not able to get it done. But I can now advise this honorable house that Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Michael Holness will break ground for the commencement of civil works on this project in July of this year.
The minister who was speaking, or who was making his contribution to the sectoral debate on Tuesday, also announced the creation of a farmers' pension scheme. This initiative, he says, is to better assist the farmers when they reach retirement age.
When they decide to stop their farming, they don't have anything to fall back on. Unfortunately, some farmers keep going, even though they are not so strong, because they're afraid if they stop, they don't have anything to fall back on. Members, I'm pleased to announce that the Ministry of Agriculture has started the process of designing a farmers' pension scheme. We will be advocating for $1 billion to seed that fund so that our farmers can put out a little thing. So just like every other profession, they can retire, cock up them foot, and have a pension.
Floyd Green, a Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining. The Government and National Water Commission, NWC, officially broke ground on Tuesday for the Ferry to Rock Pond pipeline project in St. Andrew. The project runs across 3 constituencies and is set to bring much-needed water relief to several communities in Red Hills. The NWC is spearheading the initiative, which comes at a cost of $1 billion. The project includes the installation of over 7,000 meters of 12-inch ductile iron pipeline from the ferry pump station to Topaz Crescent. It also involves the construction of 2 relift stations, 2 50,000-gallon storage tanks, and the installation of duty and standby pumps. Rehabilitation works will also be carried out at the existing ferry compound. In his address at the groundbreaking ceremony, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness noted that many recently disclosed projects are not new. However, he noted that the finances to implement them were lacking.
For us to do the actual capital investment, lay the pipe, put in the pump, develop the water source, you have to be able to invest. And in order to maintain it, you have to have the funds for the recurrent expenditure to maintain. And what has happened to Jamaica over the last 4 or 5 decades is that we simply did not have the capital budget or the recurrent budget. Our economy was not providing the resources, the wherewithal. Let's start from 2002 to now. And you will see that these projects that we are breaking ground for today are not new projects. They were on the books, many of them, for a long time. Did it start? Was it procured? Was it because they didn't have the intention? Was it because they didn't care? Was it because they're just lackadaisical? No, they didn't have the money.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. Communities benefiting from the project have long faced water supply challenges, particularly during the dry season. And that's it for Across Jamaica for this Wednesday morning.
Make a toast to your future. The JTA Cooperative Credit Union is by your side. All educators, the best is what you deserve.
We'll keep your dreams alive.
Competitive loans to help you grow.
We'll take you higher.
Great returns on your savings. A bright future is in the making.
Build the best you with the best credit union. We are committed to serving you.
The JTA Cooperative Credit Union, serving our members, impacting lives positively.
Experience the joy of buying a brand new Hyundai without breaking the bank. Yes, buying a brand new car should never leave you broke. From stylish designs and safety features to comfortable driving and reliability, Hyundai is the choice. Hyundai vehicles come standard with 2 years free service and 5 years warranty and roadside assistance for your peace of mind. Drive 2 years without service cost and 5 years without fear of being stranded. Hyundai. Conditions apply.
Are you ready for something mega?
Spend $6,500 or more before GCT, drop your entry in the box and you can win a 2025 Hyundai Tucson. It's the Mega Wheels 2 promotion, April 5th to September 28th. Second prize, a $50,000 shopping spree every month for a year. Third prize, a $30,000 shopping spree every month for a year. Brought to you by Hyundai, Redstone, Heineken, True Milk, Race, Walker's Wood, Downing, CPJ Daiquiri, and Carryburst. Choose concentrate. Only at Megamart. Locations island-wide. Megamart, best value by far. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Fit Nation is brought to you by Express Fitness 24/7. Your goal is our mission.
You wanna hot body? You want a Bugatti? You want a Maserati? You better work. You want a Lamborghini? Sip martinis, look hot in a bikini. You better work. You wanna live fancy, live in a big mansion, party in France. You better work. You better work. You better work. You better work. Now get to work. Now get to work. Ring it on, ring it on. Don't stop now, just be the champion. Work it hard like it's your profession. Watch out now, 'cause here it comes. Here comes the smasher. Here comes the masher. Here comes the big beat. Big beat to blast ya. No time to quit now. Just time to get it now. Pick up what I'm putting down. Pick up what I'm putting down.
That time of a Wednesday morning, it's time for Fit Nation. This morning in Fit Nation, we're focusing on the Jamaica Dragon Boat Festival. It is a vibrant cultural and sporting event hosted by the Chinese Benevolent Association, established in 1891, in partnership with the Jamaica Dragon Boat Federation, the JDBF. Rooted in centuries-old Chinese tradition, dragon boating is a dynamic team water sport that combines athleticism, community, and cultural heritage. The mission is to foster cross-cultural understanding by celebrating the rich history of Chinese traditions in Jamaica, with a special focus on the exhilarating sport of dragon boating. The aim of the festival is to unite communities, promote wellness through sport, and offer an unforgettable cultural experience for all the participants and the spectators. The festival is set for May 31 to June 1, 2025. For more on the festival, we're being joined by Chairman of the Organizing Committee for the inaugural Jamaica Dragon Boat Festival, Dalton Yap. Good morning to you, Dalton.
Hi, good morning to you. Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much for joining us here on NTM for the Fit Nation segment. Dalton, if you could tell us some more about this idea of the Jamaica Dragon Boat Festival.
Well, it's just absolutely exciting. As you said, this festival is indeed very steep in the Chinese culture. It's over 2,000 years old, and it's traditionally linked to what they call the Duanwu Festival, which translates to the Dragon Boat Festival.
Yes.
They honor, it honors the theme of courage, patriotism, and of course community. So the CBA, we have been around for over 130 years. And we see this as a beautiful way to share another facet of our Chinese heritage with our Jamaican friends and community. And it's also about celebrating our motto, out of many one people, by adding this really incredible tradition to our Jamaica rich landscape of cultural tapestry.
So this event, I realize, is not going to be on one day, but 2 days. So talk to us about how it will work.
Well, it's a 2 days event, and we have 11 teams registered. So the first day, would be, just like in an athletic competition, we're going to have heats on Saturday. We're going to have an opening ceremony at 10:30, and then right after that, we will go into the races. And basically, the teams will race against each other. And from there, we will have different categories of racers. You know, when you have a faster time, we'll place you on a higher category. And on Sunday, wow, that is when we have the finals. So we're going to have wonderful races between, you know, our teams in the different categories. And it's going to be fun. Yes.
Okay. So tell us where the event is taking place. Do persons need to purchase a ticket ahead of time? If there's a entry fee, let us know what that is. All those details.
Well, the action will unfold, you know, this weekend, Saturday, May 31st, and Sunday, June 1st. It will be at the Grand Hotel Excelsior, or by Port Royal, or formerly known as the Morgan's Harbour Hotel. The races will be running from approximately 10 a.m. to 5 a.m. on both days. The best part, entry is free, no charge. Just come with your best behavior. Okay, so come on for all, just come and enjoy yourself and have a fantastic day.
Okay, that's wonderful that it's free. So 10 a.m. So they don't have to think about that. They just have to think about having their refreshment money in pocket.
Yes, please, and come to support, our sponsor, which is the Grand Hotel Excelsior. Please, okay, yes.
Yes, so you say 2 days starting at 10 a.m. You said there are, 11 teams participating?
11 teams already, yeah. I mean, they're all local teams. This is just a way to introduce the sport to Jamaica. So Jamaica, come out and support. You'll be witnessing the birth of a new sport, a birth of a new sporting and cultural event. For Kingston, okay? Imagine Kingston Harbour alive with dragon boats, and we're going to have...
It looks beautiful in my mind.
Yes.
Are any of the teams international competitors or all Jamaican-based?
All Jamaican-based this year, okay, but obviously it is our dream to have, international team coming, in the following years. So this inaugural festival is really the launch pad. We envision that the Jamaican Dragon Boat Festival will become a major highlight on our annual sporting and cultural calendar. We're going to grow it year in and year after that. We will plan to attract international teams to compete along with our local teams and really put Jamaica on the global map for dragon boat racing. Okay.
So who designed the boats? Who made the boats?
No, the boats the boats were made in China, okay, in a place called Dalian, okay, in the northeastern province, and but they're all standardized boats because these boats can be used in competition, okay. So these boats were sanctioned by the International Dragon Boat Federation, and we got 8 of them in Jamaica. They are very colorful and is a sight to behold. When you see them, and when you see the paddlers, paddling through our blue water on our Kingston waterfront, and it's in the song of the drummer. So there will be drumming involved. The paddlers will follow the rhythm of the drum. You see, the paddling with water splashing, and then the boat cutting through the water, and the crowd cheering on. I mean, it's going to be great. Okay.
And since it's Fit Nation as well, we're not just talking about an event of a thing, but also the sports, the athletics of it all as well. Dragon boating is not just the cultural, but also athletic. What are some, would you say, Dalton, the physical and wellness benefits associated with this sort of boating as a sport?
Well, first of all, you're working with your upper body. Okay, you have to train. You have to use your core. But the most important thing as well is a team sport. Okay, and through working together with a common goal and making sure that everybody is doing the same action. So when you train together, you need to develop your muscle strength and so on and so forth. But to be out in the wide open sea and working together and to train together is a wonderful feeling out there. Okay, and this is a sport, remember, And the Jamaica Dragon Boat Federation is very much the one that we, is a place where you can register a team. It's a 14-member team. And once you register with us, then we'll invite you to come up to the Grand Hotel Excelsior, where the boats are based. You can come up for training on weekends, and then we will have regular competition. Well, at the very minimum, you're going to have this festival every year, but we can run, of course, competitions when we should put one together.
So before we let you go, Dalton, for somebody who just joined in on the conversation, to give us the important need-to-know information again about the festival happening this weekend.
Okay. Well, it's going to be fantastic, exciting. Okay, so the action unfolds this weekend, coming weekend, Saturday, May 31st, and Sunday, June 1st, we'll be at the Grand Hotel Excelsior, or formerly known as the Morgan's Harbor Hotel at Port Royal, after you pass the airport. And the races will be running from approximately 10 a.m. to about 5 p.m. and on both days. And Saturday we'll have the feeds, and on Sunday we'll have the finals. So come out, and just come out. It's the chance to be a part of History Jamaica, witness the birth of the new sporting tradition on our island. Please come out and enjoy the day.
I second that. Dalton Yap, chairman of the organizing committee for the inaugural Jamaica Dragon Boat Festival happening this weekend. Thank you so much for your time, Dalton.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Going to take a break now from Fit Nation and come back with more on NTM.
You wanna
Fit Nation was brought to you by Express Fitness 24/7. Your goal is our mission.
Apply for your NHD refunds at nhd.gov.jm or via the NHD app. Do not click on any links offering to help you. The time by the NHD is
8:24.
Fontana Pharmacy has a wide variety of items from pharmaceuticals, household, cosmetics, toys, and more. The temperature by Fontana Pharmacy. It's all good inside is
28 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, also 28 out west in Montego Bay, and in Mandeville it's now 24 degrees Celsius.
Suzuki, I give you deals on deals. So here's the deal. Purchase a Suzuki XL7, Jimny 5-door, Bronx or Grand Vitara from as low as $4.89 million. And enjoy huge savings of up to $500,000 off on select models. Plus 5 years warranty, free vehicle tracking, and 2 years free scheduled servicing. No, that's a deal. Offer valid at Stewart's Automotive Group, Southgate Road, Kingston, and Iron Trauma Bay. Stop by for a test drive. Follow Suzuki Jamaica for more details. Conditions apply. Suzuki, I give you deals on deals.
Are you ready for something mega?
Spend $6,500 or more before GCT. Drop your entry in the box and you can win a 2025 Hyundai Tucson. It's the Mega Wheels Tour promotion. April 5th to September 28th. Second prize, a $50,000 shopping spree every month for a year. Third prize, a $30,000 shopping spree every month for a year. Brought to you by Hyundai, Redstone, Heineken, True Milk, Grace, Walker's Wood, Downing, CPJ Daiquiri, and Carryburst Juice Concentrate. Only at Megamart. Locations island-wide. Megamart. Best value by far. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. Turning our attention now to the J. Ray and Nephew launching the Appleton Estate Rum Museum. The Appleton Estate has opened its very own rum museum right here in Kingston. It's immersive, educational rather, and unequivocally Jamaican. Joining me to talk about this exciting new venture is the communications manager at J. Ray and Nephew Limited, Dominic Bell. And hello, Dominic.
Hi, good morning, Tanya. Good morning to your listeners.
Thank you so much for joining us here on NTM. Now, talk to me, Dominic, about what inspired the launch of this museum, the Appleton Estate Rum Museum here in Kingston.
Well, at J-Rand and Nebula Limited, especially through our brand, Appleton Estate, it's all about how do we exude and communicate Jamaican excellence to the world. And Appleton Estate has really been our flag bearer for the spirits industry, especially when it comes down to that of dark spirits. So think of what Jamaicans, colloquially call red rum globally, where there's a top-selling spirit brand globally. And it's something that we want for persons to feel a part of and to celebrate, because this is a brand that has been built by Jamaicans and continues to be led by Jamaicans since 1749.
Mm-hmm. And how does this museum, for example, differ from the Joy Spence Appleton Estate rum experience that's down there in my parish, St. Elizabeth?
Yeah, yes, I knew you would allude to that, right?
Yeah.
Being a St. Elizabeth native. So first of all, it can't compare in the sense that it's two different type of experiential activities, right?
Yes.
So for persons who attend the Appleton Estate on the Rum Museum in Kingston, it's a pop-up. So what it is, it's a more condensed version, and it serves as a precursor to that of the Joy Spence Appleton Estate rum experience in St. Elizabeth. And you would know, as someone from that parish, that nothing compares to the heart of Jamaica as to what we call the JSARE within that of Nassau Valley.
Mm-hmm.
So this really serves as to give persons information as to, okay, this is now the history of rum. This is the rum making process. We have included and incorporated some elements of that tour. So think of the molasses tasting. We have the cane, all of these pieces from cane to cup journey we would have brought from the tour, but it still serves, as I said, almost as a precursor to persons to say, hey, okay, from here on out, I will now make that journey to that of the tour within St. Elizabeth.
And give us a little bit more, Dominic, on that experience at the museum here in the city. What can visitors expect when they walk through the doors?
So first of all, within the digital age, there are photo ops galore that I'm sure persons will appreciate.
Oh, we love that.
Well, there are photo ops that actually, I would say, illuminate certain elements and pieces of Jamaica that are unequivocally Jamaican. So persons will see, for example, our renditions of Jamaican flora, or the Appleton Estate rendition of what we call of our hummingbird, just in a more artistic manner.
Yes.
That, as I said, visually appealing. It works for the digital lens, and then outside of that, what it also provides is that within the heart of the city, almost somewhat of an oasis away from the everyday 9-to-5 hustle, where persons will now take the time out. It's about 45 minutes in length to learn about this rum experience. And the rum experience, as I said, begins from 1749. So persons will be transposed to that time period to know, where, as you know, we would have the world's first female master blender being Dr. Joy Spence.
Yes.
Our deputy master blender, David Morrison, is continuing that trajectory for us globally, where we are seen as the leaders of dark spirits, especially in the premiumization push.
Mm-hmm. And where's the location? Where's the specific location here in the city?
So it's at 23 Dominica Drive, and persons are encouraged to make their appointment via our Instagram channel, says at Appleton Estates JA. We should be loading that appointment-based system by the close of this week, and until then, persons can continue to consume Appleton Estate and other rum-related content on our social media channels and feed.
And is the museum, how long will it be open? And broadly, Dominic, is this initiative part of a wider brand strategy for Appleton?
So when we would have launched the museum, initially we were thinking, okay, we'll run for 3 weeks. But just based upon the demand, we're currently looking at a 6 to 8 week period. So we're looking to, we would have opened, within the last 10 days of May, and we're now looking to extend until at least mid-July.
Wonderful.
And with regards to the wider brand strategy, yes. So what we're doing, we're encouraging persons to get on the rum responsibly with Appleton Estate. So persons now have the opportunity to trade up to Jamaican excellence in supermarkets across the island, where if you purchase a 750 ml Appleton Estate signature blend, you get an Appleton Estate 8-year-old reserve complimentary while stocks last. And these are award-winning spirits by all of the global wine, spirits, and rum bodies globally. And as I said, persons will now get a complimentary 8-year-old reserve while stocks last. Outside of that, when they visit restaurants, within, whether in Kingston or, as far and wide as Round Hill and Montego Bay, we have rum and food pairing menus where we're educating persons on what rums work best with what types of meat, seafood, desserts, stuff of that nature, because a unique aspect about our Appleton Estate Jamaica rum range is that they pair well with different types of foods, just based upon whatever the blend is that you're doing. So it's a part of our wider premiumization push where we want persons within Jamaica and globally to know that, this is a premium spirit and this is a world-leading brand that we want persons to be more aware of locally.
Dominic Bell, good luck with the museum experience. I do hope that Jamaicans come out and venture in and see what's on offer there in the museum.
And we look forward to seeing you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
Always love the experience in St. Elizabeth, so I'll definitely come by for the one in the city. Dominic Bell, Communications Manager at J. Wren Nephew Limited, talking to us this morning about J. Wren Nephew launching the Appleton Estate Rum Museum. Thank you so much, Dominic.
Thank you.
All right. Going to take a break and come back with more.
Yo, genius! We just get the Burger King Double King combo. One original chicken sandwich plus a Whopper Junior with cheese. Well, 2 sandwiches plus a small fries and soda for only $1,300.
You use the new rubber money. You did say the money can stretch a Burger King.
Me mean you get more food for your money. One combo, 2 sandwiches.
So you want I got eat whole of 2 sandwich, brother? My belly can stretch,
Get the BK Double King combo, limited time only at Burger King.
Houghton's RX, the caring pharmacy, the Yes We Can pharmacy, the Yes It's in Stock pharmacy, the House Call Delivery pharmacy, the RX Pack mobile app pharmacy, the RX Plus digital wallet pharmacy, the 20% reward pharmacy, the easy to remember number pharmacy, 876 RX0 RX, the easy access 24/7 pharmacy, Houghton's RX, the convenient pharmacy, #wellness, #simply delivered.
Lace up and get ready for a run to remember through the lush True Juice orchards in Buckwalk. It's the 10th annual True Juice 5K Run Walk, Sunday, June 8, 2025. Let's make this 10th anniversary bigger and better as we raise funds for the Linstead Hospital. It's going to be special with exciting surprises in store. Register now at TrueJuice5K.com. Entry fee only $3,000. Each participant will receive a free 5K t-shirt. Follow at True Juice on Instagram for more details.
.35 on the clock, 8:35 on the clock, and a familiar face is back with us for a 3rd week running, and she's here to give us the post-mortem, the report after the event of Dunn's 5-day yard sale, which included Labor Day as well, last week Friday. And Natalia Lazarus is here. She's the marketing officer for Dunn's, and she's telling us, I'm sure, going to tell us about how successful the event was. Good morning, Natalia.
Good morning.
How do you do?
I'm okay. I'm great.
Simply okay? You have a great man.
I'm great. I'm alive and I'm well, so I give thanks.
Your bonus supposed to fat this month or next month or wherever.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. So how was it? How was it, this massive yard sale at Dunn's?
It was amazing. I was in shock. The crowd, they came out to support. It was overwhelming. And our staff, our amazing staff, they pulled through. Everybody was there. We supported the persons. We assisted. Customer service was so good. I was in a culture shock. I've never seen this before.
Yes. Fantastic. What are the items that people gobbled up?
Oh, everything. I don't think there's no department that, we advertised that would be on sale and there wasn't a crowd. I know my second floor plumbing department overwhelmed. There were so many people there, inside and outside. And as I said, I don't think anybody was disappointed. I heard good reviews. Customers left happy. I think I did a real recap on our Instagram. Everybody was smile, joy, dancing. We had refreshments giving out, some beers because it was hot, and we're cool.
Yeah. I'm sure you'd have tracked where your customers would have come from, but tell me some part of the island that you saw customers from.
Oh my, I heard so many different locations because I was going around. I had to ask because, again, I was in shock. I heard Maypen. Someone said they come from Montego Bay. This lady said she would get up out of her bed all the way from Ochi and she come on the toll and she was there 5 a.m.
What?
5 a.m. When I drove in the parking lot, I saw people and I was like, it's too early. The sale starts at 8. Every single day. They were there. They were waiting patiently for us to put out the stuff. So it was a lot, but it was great.
So you said them Sheldon plumbing, second floor.
Plumbing.
Right? So take me across all the 4 areas now and some of the items that just disappeared.
Yes. So our first floor, which was hardware and electrical, I know that the broken blocks,
fly gone.
They went as well. Somebody came and they wanted 2 pallets of just broken blocks. I know paint gone through the roof, or hand tools, because we have our own branded hand tools by Duns. Some nice purple rakes, branded shovels, trowels, stuff like that. Gone. We had lanterns, gone. Hardware, the lumber, the damaged ply, gone. Everything was just moving so fast. As I said, they came and they pulled through from our plumbing. I don't think there's anything else left in terms of doors. However, we have new stock. Don't worry, let me not say nothing is not left.
Yes.
Stuff is left, but cleared out. Decor, the home decor, furniture
was my bed and my mirror and them.
Yes, furniture. I saw beds. I saw a mattress. I saw so much. I saw carpets. Oh my God, the carpets. They're always a favorite, however. So I wasn't surprised with the carpets. The lighting. Persons were buying chandelier, recessed lights. I'm just like, okay. So I realized everybody's in their fix-up era. So yes.
Absolutely wonderful. All right, so in terms of the yard sale events, the items rather flew. How many of the people who came actually bought yard sale stuff but bought new stuff as well, you'd say?
I would say a good 70% of our customers. Because as I said, we had the tents outside where we had most of the yard sale items, the clearance items as well. However, when they come and we say, inside is on sale as well, gone. They just flew past you, went all the way inside, and then they come back and they said, I add something else to my bill. And I was like, you go. You just go. Don't miss the opportunity. There's a point where I wanted to get up and start to shop because I don't know. I guess because you're motivated. I don't know what to call it. Everybody's around me and I'm like, I work here. Where you find that? Yes. So it was just a lot of stuff and good spirits. I will say our customers, my God, I'm so thankful for their support. They're so joyous and loyal as well.
Yes.
We had customers coming in for the 5 days straight. I saw.
You mean come every day?
Every single day.
Want the same customer come every day?
Same customers. I had to give them some prizes because I'm like, I saw you yesterday. I saw you the day before and you're here today. And they're like, and I'm coming tomorrow. So I was like, wow. So like, why is that? Because, you have to ask them. They said, because we put out new stuff every day. And I'm like, that is true. And they don't want to miss anything.
Yeah. The Duns logo, is it a rhino?
It's a rhino.
Yeah.
Signifies strength.
So I asked the rhino because I see something else on your shirt called Dun Cool. And everybody know, Natalia, ball about the heat. What does Duns have for the heat?
What we have for the heat, we have our Dun Cool inverters for the heat. I know this summer, I already start to feel the heat. I don't know about you, but it's extremely
the heat hot, as Jamaicans would say.
Yeah, heat hot. Heat habit with something.
Bad. So we have a visual now, YouTubers, listeners. So the YouTubers can see it, but the listeners, we have a visual here. Our expert videographer with a steady hand, Mr. King, is picking up the Dun Cool. What is it? Is that an inverter?
Inverter.
Yeah, that Duns has to beat the heat, to help you beat the heat this summer. So tell me about the prices, then, Natalia.
So starting at the lowest in the market so far, we're starting at $52,000 plus tax for 12,000 BTU.
Mhm.
So that's the units that you're seeing there as well.
Mhm.
And I have the prices for the other units listed out there as well.
Mhm.
So it's 52 for the 12, $72,000 for the 18,000 BTU, and so forth. The prices are out there.
Very well. And if so with Duns there. Oh, so the price list here. Thank you very much. So 12,000 BTU, 52K plus tax, 18,072K. They go up to 323,600 now for a 48,000 BTU British thermal unit plus tax. So that's the range of prices for the Duncool air conditioners to help you beat what is already shaping up to be a very, 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 very hot summer.
Hot.
Yeah. So if I look at the base price of 52,000 plus GCT for a 12,000 BTU, and knowing the value that translates from a Duns product, you're saying I don't have to shop around to see if I find a better price. I can just come buy it from you.
You can trust us. So we did our research. You can trust us. You know, we're Duns. Why not trust us?
Excellent.
We give to you, and they're created solely for you. I cannot stress enough how much work and effort has gone into the creation of these units. We took into consideration so many factors. I know when we were looking, we're like, how can we make this better? How can we deliver? Not just price. How can we make the units affordable, however sustainable? So of course we wanted them to be eco-friendly. Of course you wanted your inverters. However, why not make our condenser rust proof? It's the outside part.
Yes.
And you know, we live on an island
Yes.
surrounded by water.
Yes.
Everybody has a rust problem.
Yes.
Can't escape it. So why not make the external parts of the unit rust proof? So we added that as well. As I said, we took into consideration what your locals want. What do you want as a consumer? Because we had to make it perfect. And of course, it's modern times, so we had to make it smart as well. So I have my AC remote right here. It's very modern, very sleek. However, it's a bit small. So in the box, whenever you get your unit, there is a QR code that you can scan. So this prompts you to download the Smart Home app. So this allows you to connect your smartphone with your unit, and you can turn it on and off. You can adjust the temperature, you can add timer settings, anything you want, as long as you download the app that it prompts you to in the box. And of course, we have our warranty card, and it's 5-year warranty on our compressors as well. Sorry.
So I download the QR code and I can control the AC from my phone wherever I am?
From your phone, because look at the remote.
So King, we need some of those for this office now for the people who leave the AC on Thursday evening.
Yes.
And then when we come back Monday morning, Natalia and come in the place cool like ice. And nobody was here over the whole weekend.
That's not good.
No.
That's
no,
not
no.
good. That's not sustainable.
So you have a cure for that with the
we
QR
have
code.
a cure. We have a cure. We know we're Jamaica, and sometimes we say we leave the house, and it's when you're on the road, you say, "Did I turn off the stove? Or did I?" Don't have to worry. You can do it from your phone.
Excellent.
Because one thing we don't leave is our phones.
Yes,
we leave everything else, but not the phone.
What else? What's that booklet you have in your hand now?
So this is our instruction manual. So in it tells you exactly how to care for your unit, sustain your unit, because you know ACs require servicing and as well. However, we have added some steps that you can take so you don't have to service it so often. Because a part of the servicing, it's necessary, it's needed. However, there's some stuff that you yourself can do as a buyer and as an owner of the unit to care for your unit. So why not help you out? So we teach you how to identify the different parts. So it's a whole course.
Yes.
We show you the different steps on the unit, the different steps on the controller, how else you can prompt your remote, prompt the app, operation instructions, and it's in English.
Yes.
It's in English. Yes, it's in English, and maintenance. So it's all detailed and had images there. So it's fun. So it's not just this long manual for all the steps, and you're like, why am I learning about this? I'm not the installer. However, you are the owner of the unit. So if you're going to own the cool, why not care about the cool as well? Because you want your unit to last as long as possible.
Yeah, man. See a virgin call and say, "What go on, dog? Mr. Me place hot." He said, "No, man, me done cool long time." Done cool, play, pun intended. There you go. Excellent stuff. All right, so you know it's been wonderful. I'm very happy for the success of the yard sale.
Yes.
And I see that you lift up the AC card coming here this morning.
I had some help from the security.
The security helped you.
He helped me with the condenser.
All right. Anyway, my youth, you know, I get one AC just because I help her bring in the AC. I understand. I forgot to buy one.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, you so the summer, you have the AC for the heat, and you have everything else that anybody will need to be comfortable in
Everything
their
else
house.
that anybody would need. I like to say for this summer, don't settle for the wind, own the cool.
Shade being
bold.
thrown.
I'm being bold.
If you know, you know.
If you know,
if you know, you know. The wind, the people. There
Don't
you go.
settle for it. Own the cool.
Own the cool. Thank you very much this morning, Natalia.
Right.
And Duns, people can find you online where? Just tell me the...
You can find us online at www.dunsjm.com. Follow us on Instagram, Duns Jamaica, and TikTok, DunsJM. Because this summer we have a lot in store. Stay tuned. I already have some customers say, when is the next sale? Stay tuned. It's a Duns summer. Why not? If we don't cool it, why not just own the entire summer ourselves? So a lot is coming in store. We're listening to our customers. I'm writing down all the notes. I take telling people and I do homework.
Yes.
So just wait, stay tuned, follow us on all our socials because it's coming.
Just shop at Duns and done.
Right.
Might as well. Thank you this morning, Natalia.
Thank you.
Natalia Lazarus, the marketing officer at Duns. And yeah, nice and cool. Done cool. Break time. Back with more after these.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:48.
The Birthday Club is brought to you by Burger King. Stretch your dollar at Burger King with a new Double King combo. 1 original chicken sandwich plus a Whopper Jr. with cheese. Plus a small fries and drink for only $1,300.
Joe Higgs and Roy Wilson, Federal Records, 1960. It sold, they say, 50,000 copies, which was a lot of records at the time. And former Prime Minister Edward Philip, wait for it, George Siaga. Yeah.
Oh boy. I can't.
I'm not drinking, is it? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So, Edward Philip George Siaga would have celebrated his birthday today. And so in tribute to him, as we always do, we'll play this classic, yeah, from Higgs and Wilson. Manu. To the break again, King. To the...
Manu. Someday, Manu, you can go. But now, I love you so. Hold me in your arms and never let me go. Squeeze me, use some more. Oh,
Trenchtown duo, yeah? Yeah, listen, Trenchtown, I don't know. We speak a lot about it. We need to do something properly to document, to chronicle. You're big on documentation and chronicling, Tana. We need to have Trenchtown's contribution, not just to Jamaican music, but to just to Jamaica. A little place like that, so many stars in so many areas. No, so Trenchtown is a blessed place. Trenchtown, yeah. Anyway, my side come from Trenchtown, but you know, sure. 100 guns, yeah? Birthday time.
I didn't see that one coming.
100 guns.
All right. So, on the birthday list, this morning, the Commissioner of Police,
what,
Dr. Kevin Blake,
what,
is celebrating his birthday today.
What?
Happy birthday to you, Dr. Blake. And I see happy birthday greetings here from the members and staff of the St. Andrews South Police Division. So singling them out because they sent in a message wishing you a happy birthday. But I'm sure your personnel right across the country will be sending you happy birthday greetings today. Listen, yesterday at the Police Federation conference, and when they acknowledged him, I mean, everybody stood up, standing ovation, and they started applauding. Like, yeah.
We can play something for Dr. Blake?
For sure.
Play this classic, man. Neptunes.
In clown capers in sawdust ring. Just why woman people like you and me when we build less for eternity. Each is given a bag of tools, shapeless mass, and the book of rules. And each must make your life flowing. Stumbling black or a stepping stone. Just like poor people like you and me will be builders for love. Each is given a bag of tools, a shapeless hands, and the book of rules.
A big song for a top gentleman. Yeah, and those St. Andrew South people who sent those greetings. Wait for the next 4 Saturdays, yeah? Peer promotion.
Oh. And he promoted some people yesterday. Right there at the conference. So congratulations to those people.
Yeah.
We're not done yet. So you're playing songs now, Jermaine. So you have to go find a song because the Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Favour Williams.
What?
It's her birthday today as well. So happy birthday greetings going out to the Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Favour Williams, celebrating her special day today. Wishing for her a wonderful one.
Morning, Minister. Hope you enjoy today.
Yeah.
King, where you have this?
All right, yeah. Another person who is celebrating her birthday today. Well, lots of great people born on May 28th. And in the month of May in general, Fantastic people born in May. But today is Auntie Faye's birthday. Faye Ellington is celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday to Auntie Faye. That's how we know her in school at Carmack. Yeah, lecturer, actress, media personality. She's everything.
Keep you in line when you step out of line.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So happy birthday greetings going out to her. VVIB says Barbara Ellington. Auntie B, I call her, also sending happy birthday greetings to her cousin Faye Ellington. Very happy birthday to her. Wishing her continued excellent health, God's richest blessings, and joie de vivre forever. So happy birthday to Auntie Faye.
Auntie Faye, you're short and now grown no more, but yeah, pick up yourself just to see.
So somebody is saying today is the former finance minister, Dr. Omar Davis' birthday as well. Is it?
All right then.
Is it?
Good morning, Dr. Davis. Good morning, man. Good morning.
Happy birthday to you.
Sir.
Wishing for you a wonderful day. A wonderful day. So happy birthday to all of you. So, quickly over on Facebook, happy birthday greetings going out to Alden Small, Althea Walker, Angela Thame. Happy birthday. Happy birthday
Angela?
as well. Yeah.
Angela? Emmy Award-winning producer Angela Thame.
Yeah.
Good morning, Angie. Good morning, good morning.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday as well to Nelka Clark Lindo, Stacey Ann Maxwell. Who else is on the B-Day list? Kirsty Shepard. It's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Wishing for you a wonderful day. Jasper Grant here on YouTube sending happy birthday greetings to Justice Gary Gordon. Happy birthday to him. Happy birthday to him. Wishing for you a wonderful day, Justice Gary Gordon. Scrolling on down. Who else is on the B-Day list real quick? Cheryl Wallace sending happy birthday to Albert Martin in Philly. Happy birthday to you, Albert Martin in Philly, from Cheryl Wallace. Wishing for you a good day. Ricky NYCJM sending happy birthday to cousin Nadia or Nadia in the Bronx, and to Raymond Price. It's also Raymond Price's birthday.
What?
No, man.
RP, morning, my G. Morning, Raymond. Morning. Raymond, a good you today. Raymond, a good you.
Raymond, it's your birthday.
Happy birthday, Ray.
Happy birthday to you, Raymond Price, celebrating your birthday today. Wishing for you a great one as well. And what's this one here? Happy birthday to Burris Ford. Burris Ford, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Wishing for you a good one. Yeah. Are those all the birthdays now? Any other birthdays? Any more birthdays?
Minister, no more.
Anybody? Because it seems everybody has celebrated birthdays today. Checking the WhatsApp group
So
for any more birthdays.
Dominic of the 3Ds. Dominic, son Dominic. Your mother and your father sending happy birthday greetings to you. They say they're incredibly proud of the person you are and the amazing things you've accomplished. Wishing you a day filled with love, laughter, and everything that brings you joy. They say you are a true blessing to their lives and that they're so lucky to have you as your son. Dominic, when you win the lotto, just give mommy and daddy all of the money and just big up yourself because, you know, they've invested so much in you. So Dominic, you know yourself. Good morning to you. Mommy and daddy saying happy birthday and sending tons of love your way.
Two final ones here. George Allwood sending happy birthday to his neighbor, Mr. Brown. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Brown, from your neighbor, George Allwood. Wishing for you a good one. Natty M sending happy birthday to Sharona Barrett. Happy birthday, Sharona, who attends Merle Grove High. We love you endlessly, says Natty M. And happy birthday greetings to our wonderful woman, friend, and mother, Tracy Ann Thomas. May this year be filled with awesome blessings. Greetings coming from your children, Tati and O'Neill, and your friend, Michelle. Happy birthday, Tracy. Those are all the birthdays now. So if you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday to you. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you as well.
The Birthday Club was brought to you by Burger King. Stretch your dollar at Burger King with a new Double King Combo. One original chicken sandwich plus a Whopper Junior with cheese. Plus a small fries and drink for only $1,300.
You sheltered me from harm, kept me warm, kept me warm. You gave my life to me.
And that's about it for the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nationwide this morning. Thanks to our technical operator, Jermaine King, our super producer, Michelle McCray Smith, and our super editor, who is out, and we're sending her much love, Kimona Thompson. Up next, the Consumer Hour with Norgay Banton, and at 10, Cliff Hughes
And
Online.
I would give it.
I'm Tana.
I own. Give up. Cut the mic.
My heart, my own. And I would
You've just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.